Hello, everybody, and welcome back from the break. You're now watching Game Masters right here on the GDQ Hotfix. I'm your host, as always, Kiara_TV, and we, of course, have a lovely show for you. I do want to thank everybody so much for keeping shows like this alive, because by supporting Games Done Quick with your subs, gift subs, and bits cheered, your contributions can keep all of our shows running. So if you're enjoying the stream, consider subscribing for exclusive emotes, ad-free viewing, and access to chat during replays. You can also always support the stream by sharing the Games Done Quick channel with all of your friends. And if you're looking to be more involved with the GDQ community, join the official Games Done Quick Discord and add the Hotfix role to get updates on upcoming events, chat with staff, and more. Use !Discord and Twitch chat for an invite, as well as some more awesome info. I am joined here by the one and only S Grunts, who is going to be bringing us a couple little blueprints randomizer runs here. So we got two different flavors of this that we're going to try and get through tonight. But S Grunts, tell me about what we have coming up here tonight.
Yeah, all right. Hello, viewers. I'm Oscar. Joining me in the comms booth today also is the one and the only Selkith Mine. So if you want to briefly introduce yourself before I explain what we're getting into here.
Hello, I'm Sel. If you've seen an anime girl do bingo on the GDQ channel before, it's probably me.
You did it on my show, actually, not too long ago. So welcome back to Game Masters, just this time in the commentator's booth.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Blueprints is fundamentally a puzzle game at its core, in my view. You're supposed to be plumbing the depths of the Mount Holly Manor, and hopefully, if you're lucky, find the mysterious room 46 at the end of it all. But for those of us who might already be familiar with the depths of the manor, what do we do instead if we want to keep playing the game? And the answer that a lot of the community has come up with is to instead play bingo. So just a couple of moments here, I'm going to start a fresh new file. I am going to, over on the side here, we've got the bingo board layout. This is a format called BQuest specifically, and I will explain a little bit more about that once you have the opportunity to see the game itself and why we've got this 5x9 layout. I'm going to follow the usual weekly race timing for this, where I will start a new file, immediately skip the opening cutscene, and reveal the board at that time. Time will start once I gain control of Simon, our player character. So if you look in the upper left corner where a stats icon, that is the moment the time begins. So without further ado, let me hit the button and let's get into it.
I'm staring for the steps.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to be acting very quickly off the start of the run to activate a game concept called V mode, which we'll have the opportunity to expect in a few moments. So I've revealed the board. I will be looking at the board for a few moments just to see how I want to approach this. And let's go.
All right. There's the steps.
So Sel, as I drop the few opening rooms, do you want to take a few moments to explain what V mode is?
Yeah, so V mode, or veteran mode, is seemingly a hidden thing within the code of the game that just recognizes if you draft 3 rooms within 25 seconds, and then it scales up to 5 rooms within, I believe it's 50 seconds, the game recognizes that you are an experienced player and you already know what you're doing, and therefore it gives you a little bit more predictability in some of the RNG. Certain rooms we can predict better where they're going to show up, as well as slightly better luck. That's kind of the general gist of what veteran mode is, and it is very useful for us because this game is quite RNG heavy. It is a puzzle game, but it is also kind of a roguelike, and so whenever you can control RNG in a roguelike, it's good news.
Specific timings off the top of my head, to my knowledge, are 3 rooms in 35 seconds, 4 rooms in 50 seconds, 5 rooms in 60 seconds. There's actually also an alternate way that's been recently found to activate V mode, which is if you get a shovel within the first 2 rooms, which usually you do from pulling it out of a closet, you can go outside and dig up a hidden floor plan, and that will also activate V mode.
Okay, that makes some sense.
Yeah, so
I do see a question in chat if these are vetted seeds. You cannot vet the seeds for blueprints. However, these boards, the bingo boards that we're going to see tonight, were crafted by members of the community specifically for the purpose of this showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in other words, the objectives are, but the game itself is not.
Correct. Yes.
And big shout out to the Blueprints community for coming out as always.
Yeah, like I approached the rest of the Bequest Bingo community for help in getting these boards together specifically, and they've been kind enough to provide both of the boards that I'm going to be running tonight. So my own objective for day one is actually something that I've just accomplished, which is to be able to drop the garage and get outside to open the west wing gate. So you can see in the bottom left corner of the board, that square is always open, the west gate, and the outer rooms here are often vital for a lot of the strategies later on in the run as well. So my main objective for day one is just to get this gate open, and since I'm outside, that also lets me open the orchard gate on the other side of the manor to open that as well. So this also gives me a few moments just to sort of plan out how I'm going to get from that schoolhouse. That's fascinating.
Ooh.
Yeah. So one of the final objectives. So I didn't take a moment to explain this, but I'll show you in a moment after this cutscene ends. The layout of the board actually matches the layout of the house in game as well. You may have seen that as I pulled up the blueprint earlier. So the objective is to get from the start up to the goal, sort of mimicking from how we're going from the entrance hall up to the antechamber here. One of the objectives, which is adjacent to goal there, is gain chess power. Getting the schoolhouse there and turning that knob to turn on one of the blue flames is actually one of the key parts of doing so, because just take a very brief detour here to show you. It's going to be over here, the little flame pedestal. Once you turn on all 4 blue flames, that activates an elevator there, which takes you to the chess puzzle, where you gain the chess power. So in order to get down there, there's another way to get down there, which is much more unlikely. The most reliable way and the intended way to get down there for the most part is to turn on all 4 blue flames. And I'm about to turn on 2 of the remaining 3, since they're present in the Gemstone Cavern, which I opened up earlier, and in the Orchard, which I'm about to open up.
Yeah, so you cannot, without shenanigans, do all 4 blue flames in one day. That's what I'll say about that.
I want to know the shenanigans, though.
If you want to learn about the shenanigans, I would encourage you to go to the SRC page for Blueprints, go to the forums, and there is a link to the speedrunning Discord for this game there, where you will get to learn all sorts of wild things about this game in there. So be warned, it's spoiler heavy in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I have not had the pleasure to encounter a lot of things myself in this game that would qualify for shenanigans per se. However, I did find, apparently completely randomly, a glitch which is completely useless for, speedrunning purposes, but is hilarious to watch in action.
I mean, it can't be any more useless than me discovering that you can get hit on the head by the statues in the tomb, and that will knock the camera all sorts of wild ways.
Alright, so as you can see, I'm out of doors on day one, but I've accomplished everything that I wanted to do, so I'm just going to end the day here. Objectives going forward, I want to find the library for the library back. I will need to draft the library at least twice in order to get that. Alternatively, if I see the laboratory come up again, I can wait there for 30 seconds, which means I'll need a newspaper clipping. But the first thing I'm going to do day 2 tomorrow is I opened the west gate. That lets me just turn around and leave the manor immediately and go and draft an outer room. I'm hoping for Hobble specifically, which will be the 4th blue flame. But there's a variety of other things that'll be useful for the early board here. So we will
and
see
once
what we get.
V mode does not need to be reactivated every day. You activate it on day 1, and then it's just present for the rest of the save file.
Yeah, for the most part, V mode basically acts as though you are on, much later on in the run than you normally. Normally, the game takes some time to. That's Hobble. That is beautiful.
Incredible.
All right, it's with any luck today will be chess day. We'll find out.
Ooh. Day 2 chess strats. Let's go.
I'll be astonished if I get day 2 chess strats, but that would be great. The most common chess power to pick is one which lets you force a specific colors of room to be more common, which is vital for a lot of things here. So you might see full directories of hallway here. This makes it very easy to get a full directory of hallways. But there's
also, that's an objective on your board.
It sure is. I will tick that off in a moment as soon as I have the opportunity to do that. So I might actually have an alternate path besides the one I'm considering here. Also, I did just use an elevator as well, so no, I haven't done that yet.
No, you haven't.
Like,
yeah, I was gonna say.
I've unlocked the elevator. I haven't actually ridden on the elevator yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say not quite yet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Though going down on the elevator will be important for that is not a direction I want.
Oh, that's not great for HLC.
Do I have? I do have. So let me just take a quick detour with that magnifying glass in hand. So one of the objectives on the board is view stamps in the library. In order to do that, I actually need to inspect a stamp somewhere. The most convenient one is the one on that envelope in the entrance hall. Just grab the key. No one to drop.
And that gives you a rook as well.
It sure does.
So
yeah,
I can talk a little bit more about the chess puzzle. So every room in this game has a chess piece in it. A lot of the rooms just have a pawn.
Not every room, just a large number.
Not every
so
room?
Here's the pawn in the den. Okay. There are 16 rooms that have pawns, 4 that have most of the other chess pieces, and 2 each for the king and queen, which, if you think about it, is exactly the same pieces that would be on a chessboard to begin with. Observatory is one of the rooms that has a knight in it. So the idea behind the chess puzzle is I need to draft a room with all of the chess pieces in it. So here's the bishop from the chapel. The 2 most difficult ones to pull are the king and queen, because one of the king rooms,
highball room.
This is risky, but I'm going to do it anyway. Great.
Oh,
oof.
That's unfortunate because you need to get the secret chamber that's like you go south.
So
right?
there are 2 rooms that have the queen room, and then one of them is Her Ladyship's chamber, which has very specific drafting rules, which is why I'm trying to draft a specific matter on the West Wing. It's a drawing room. I'm going to continue on with this just to see if I can get 3 safes or something. Maybe pull a lucky study out of the library or something. But Her Ladyship's chamber, one of the 2 queen rooms, is very specific drafting rooms. In particular, in B mode, it can only be drafted on day 7 or earlier, unless you reach room 46 first. The other is the study, which is a pain to get to.
Always draft veranda.
Always draft veranda.
Shoutouts to Gelly.
Yep. King is significantly tougher because there is exactly 1 room that's available at the start, which has a king piece in it, and that is the office.
So we do have a question of how does the day mechanic work? And really, that's just each day in game is like you're going through and opening up rooms for the house. But as you can clearly see, you get a handful of tiles that you can pick, a handful of rooms. And eventually, you're going to run out of things to do. You're going to run out of steps. You're going to run out of doors you can open. You're going to run out of keys, something. So you can go to a new day, which essentially resets the house back to as if you're going right from the entryway again. And there's some meta progression that's saved between, but like your keys, your gems, your golds are all reset back to their starting amounts. Though some things persist. A handful of things do persist.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I need to go back to the observatory and open up the planetarium, don't I?
Oh, for plans, yeah.
I mean, I'm still angling for chess power here, but there's also the ending planetarium in case I end up going that side door. I don't really need to do it urgently, but if I get blocked out, then I'll go and claim the planetarium from the observatory. That's 2 safes.
Also, all of these safe puzzles are things that we know the answers to. Some of them are quite complex. I'm not going to...
This is deeply unfortunate.
Oh.
There's the queen piece. And that's also 3 safes, but this ends my day.
You need 4 safes to do it.
Yep.
So...
I will take the floor plan just to add it in.
Okay, you got some decent luck.
Okay, so I will go back to observatory since the day's ending otherwise and claim the floor plan.
Okay, so there's a question about the parlor puzzle. So the parlor puzzle is one that we know the solutions, or like quite literally, there is a tool that does exist in the community where you can type in whatever is said on the box and the color of the box, and it will tell you what it was. For a lot of the early puzzles, some players do have it memorized.
Yeah,
so
like I've seen all of the early parlor puzzles enough that I immediately recognize most of them. All right. Shrine would be good here for Become Cursed. Although, I don't really want to do that right now while I'm still fishing for chess. Oh, you know what? I just missed an opportunity for view fine print.
Oof.
Oh well. Magnifying glass is not that uncommon anyway.
Oh yeah, because you had the Nook. That's right.
Yeah.
View fine print is a bingo goal that requires you to use the magnifying glass to look at that information that's written down, print, that is too small to read just by inspecting it by itself.
Shit's good here. The sledgehammer is useful if I want to get 2 chests in a day, but also lets me solve a particularly late game secret, which is mostly relevant for trading purposes, actually, which is this.
Oh, that's supposed to be late game? Oh.
Yeah, like mid to late game. You're definitely not supposed to know about this until well after you've solved room 46, I guess.
Well, it shows that I went straight to bingo after getting room 46 for the first time and didn't look back.
High conference room?
High conference room? Imagine seeing you here.
So the conference room, I know, has a couple special properties. So what does that do for you?
So there are certain rooms in the game that have the action of spreading an item. So say, for example, the patio will spread a gem to all the other green rooms that have been drafted so far that day. There's other things that function similarly as well. The conference room, though, overrides that and instead places what would have been spread in the conference room. This can have some really silly effects, such as if you do certain things that cause dirt piles to spawn, they should spawn on the driveway. They will instead spawn on the conference room table.
It's just hilarious.
And then you can dig into them. It is a wild thing to see.
Yeah. And it's especially if things go the way I want them to, the most likely spread effect to see will be the one that you can trigger from the office, which is to spread gold. Okay, I'm going to hold off on dropping that corner just for office purposes later on. The office is a 2-door room, which, wow, I'm getting awful.
Rank 4 locked. Oof.
Yeah, the wild variance in luck I'm getting here is pretty typical for bingo runs, actually.
What, this is day 3? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're gonna not be able to HLC today, I don't think.
So one thing I'm very curious about as we go through this, since this is the game where you have multiple days and you got to finish all the objectives to get there. How, playing bingo, say I haven't done it too much, how big is like
that's huge.
The range of like how many days it takes you to reach the goal? Like what's like the most you've seen? What's like the least you've seen to get through to the end? Because I imagine it could like vary quite a bit. Those are a lot of stats I'd love to see.
I think it depends on the player's individual style.
Yeah.
Like, I typically finish a bingo in about an hour and a half with 6, maybe 7 days. Mm-hmm. Other players have much higher day counts, but they're also ending their days much faster. Mm-hmm. I'm a player who likes to play out a day pretty far every time, and that's why I do it in few in-game days.
Yeah, I tend towards shorter days as well, but a lot of the top players have very long but very few days as well. So I picked up a shovel from the closet I just drafted, so that's why I'm back outside, because I dug up another microchip, and I'm about to dig up the conservatory here, which is the 3rd floor plan. So this means that I am going to go back and draft the other corner. the closet is a room that I drafted, because the conservatory is an odd case where it can also only be drafted in corners. So I want to see if I can pull that here, because I might be able to set some rooms to common that we need. But it's actually looking increasingly like I'm going to be going up the other side of the board than the one I was expecting to, just on the basis that I'm getting floor plans a lot faster than normal here. That's Office. I love how the game can instantly prove me wrong like this.
Hi, Office.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm especially known for in my bingo runs is I have in hand an upgrade disc. I'm going to use it immediately. You can see also 4 upgrade discs on the board, but I am very good. Do I already have the Nook today? I think I already have the Nook today, but this is very typical luck for me. Because I'm very good at getting upgrade discs to manifest. So I don't remember which, I think this was not one of the weekly boards. I think this is just a board that I was running on my own, where I had 4 upgrade discs on the same day in rapid succession, which was not unusual for me. Anyway, do I have... I'm actually just a queen away from chess at this point, I think.
You have a key. Yeah, I will say there is a difference between like a casual playthrough and a bingo playthrough in terms of completing the goal. Very rarely does standard BQuest bingo go all the way to obtaining room 46. In fact, I'm pretty certain room 46 is not even an objective anymore on regular BQuest boards. Yeah, so when we talk about how many days it takes us to complete a bingo, it's going to be different, and it's going to depend a little bit on the goals you have. But yeah, it really will depend on the player style. Casually for me, I hit room 46 on day 14, which is both fast and slow in a lot of ways. Oh, what an interesting draft you've got. Aquarium here is in every color room.
Yeah.
Which is both wonderful and terrible.
Yeah. And I suspect I'm going to run out of drafting spots on this day, but... Oh, there's library. This will let me do 2 important things. I will want to draft this again in the future, but I need to actually check out a library book here before I can read it, which is, read a library book aloud here. But the other thing I can do, since I'm here, and since it's possibly relevant for one of the routes that I'm going to be taking, is, you remember I looked at the stamp earlier? There it is. I've looked at it. So
Chad is saying you also have drafted 2 bishops in a day, and
I sure have.
About it. Yes, you did.
Yes, I had Chaplain Attic on that day. Thank you, Amador.
Thank you, Chad, for keeping us honest. Well, helping us complete the objectives faster.
Oh, that's not locked. That's fascinating. I might run.
That's a bold choice.
That makes.
I was gonna say
sad.
it's a bold choice because it was probably gonna be a security door.
Yeah, well, I was expecting a locked door here anyway. I think that's the end of this day anyway. So.
You didn't actually draft the far corner.
You're right. I did not.
Opportunity. So what is your least favorite red room? I hate the weightlifting room that cuts your steps.
Is the weight room. Oh. So one of the funny things which shows up very late in the game, it's actually from a library book, which is, I think, not currently available to me right now, but it talks about drafting the High Vault.
High Vault?
Hello.
I don't think 40 coins is on the board, but I can't not do this.
I'm looking. I don't see it.
Yeah, anyway, that's the end of that day. So what did I do today?
But you do have spent 3 gems drafting a room.
Yeah, I sure do.
Yep.
And that was 2 bishops in a day for whatever it's worth. Right there. So I've added 3 floor plans. This is real weird. Yeah, this is somewhat typical chess luck for me as well. On 2 consecutive days, I have been 1 component away from getting chess. I might just convert this into more floor plans, especially if I can pull more upgrade discs. the reason I picked when I used the first upgrade disc, I picked the breakfast nook because that's tomb. That's funny. Speaking of upgrade disc luck,
there's no one guaranteed down here, right?
There sure is, assuming you know how to open the crypt up.
There's more than one down here, but I don't think we'll likely get more than one out of here right now.
Yeah, the one that you can easily get from here just requires you to solve this tomb puzzle. The other one requires you to be able to light candles, which can be done in a couple of different ways, neither of which is likely to show up in this run.
It'd be very funny if it did, because it has happened before.
It has happened before. I have done it before, funnily enough. I think there is not a single upgrade disc that I have not gotten at some point during bingo runs. Which includes some very, very wild upgrade discs. But anyway, I was talking about the first upgrade disc. I upgraded the nook into the breakfast nook. The breakfast nook gives you bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs gives 10 steps, and more importantly, adds a room called the morning room to the drafting pool. The morning room has an upgrade disc in it. I'm going to pull this just
the first time you draft it, it has an upgrade disc. To be clear, it doesn't have one every time.
Yeah, any upgrade disc after you've used it will just stop showing up. I'm pulling that.
Yeah, and there's 16 total, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, do they go to 16 rooms, or will you not be able to upgrade every room?
There are specific rooms that can be upgraded. However, some of the rooms have 2 upgrades to them.
Yeah, there is one specific room that can be upgraded twice. So 15 upgradable rooms, one of which is upgradable twice.
Okay, so you get all 16 and you're guaranteed that you're going to upgrade all of the upgradable rooms. There's no way you can lose out on that. Gotcha.
And if you see when an upgrade disc gets used, how it cycles through a whole bunch of rooms, most of those rooms are just basically flavor images. There's a lot of them that are shown there that cannot be upgraded. It's a predetermined set that are upgradable.
So right now I'm fishing for probably the library so that we can get story time. I need a terminal of some sort, so I can use the upgrade disc I've got in hand right now.
That's the worst, is when you have a whole bunch of upgrade discs and you can't get a terminal to save your life.
Yeah, while I may be very good at manifesting upgrade discs, there's breakfast nook. So I'm going to turn around here immediately, actually, and see if I can't draft the morning room. Because the morning room can only be drafted along edges. So that makes it actually very likely that it shows up right here, right now. Alright, that's good. I get the gems too. Let me just draft down. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, what have we got this time?
Alright, here we go.
The funny part about ooh, that's an interesting pull here.
Ooh, Cloister, what you gonna get?
I've never gotten this upgrade disc. I'm curious what these are. Cloister, I've never seen this.
Yeah, Cloister's a bit of an interesting case. There's actually, you might remember that when I went through the tomb, there were 7 statues plus the 8th in the catacombs itself. There are actually 8 total Cloister upgrades, of which you only get offered 3, with a variety of
per time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Typically for bingo, we typically pick Cloister of Rhina, just because if you draft another green room out of it, it increases your luck, and luck is just really helpful to have. But there is use cases for all of them. So,
I've actually solved 2 parlors by now. I just didn't mark it off.
Have you?
Yeah, I did the second one yesterday.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Hi, Study.
Well, you don't need to HLC anymore.
Yeah, so now I'm just fishing for office at this point, I think.
Which in some ways that's worse, because office is...
Yeah.
There's not a guaranteed draft condition for it.
Yeah, I've historically had the most luck drafting office by drafting a lot of corner rooms and then just drafting one of the corner spots, because that makes office a lot more likely to show up in that position.
Gotcha.
So actually, I have 8 gems. I've got rerolls.
Ooh. HLC, that is the
ladyship's
form for her ladyship's chamber, which is a bedroom in this game that has incredibly specific drafting conditions. So, for example, there's the high office. There are some rooms that can only be drafted on certain wings of the hall. There are certain rooms that can't be drafted below certain ranks.
Exciting, exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to take the magnifying glass.
Read us a story.
Yes.
Wait, I got to do work? I got to do work on my show?
Yes.
Oh, my. Okay, all right. Let me get it up. All right, so what tone should I read this in?
Whimsical.
Go for it.
I think.
All right, maybe a more motherly motherly way. It's like, all right, Swimbird by Marion Marigold. I am a dare bird, a daring and brave bird, driving so deep bird, a ride on the wave bird. There's not a dare I would not do. There's not a depth I would not dive to. However, my friends are not very open to the idea that I like the sky less than the ocean. Bird in the sky, not in the sea. That is what they say when looking at me. You are not seabird, you are not swimbird. If you are friend bird, fly in the wind bird. And shouldn't you always listen to friends? For they know me best, or so they pretend. So I dare not dive, and I dare not swim, and I dare not step foot in the ocean again. And I dare not smile, I dare not laugh, but they will do it for me and on my behalf. And I dare not dream, and I dare not speak, or maybe my friends won't like the real me. And I will say goodbye to my dreams and sea, and wonder why daring feels just like defeat. Thank you, Kiara. All right. You're welcome.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to make a quick detour before I head outside here because I have a magnifying glass in hand. Actually, let me just see if I can't pull something else here. That's not going to work. So I'm going to go back to the Nook quickly because I have a magnifying glass in hand, and one of the objectives on my intended line here is view fine print. And the Nook actually has one of the things... Actually, you know what? I don't need to go back there because I'm in the vicinity of security, which also has fine print, quote-unquote, that I can read.
That's true.
In this case, it's this notice here. There's the terminal password crossed out. But if you look at it under a magnifying glass, you can actually see what the terminal password is supposed to be. And because you can only see that with the magnifying glass, that counts as reading fine print. All right, so I have... That's a shovel that I just walked past several times. That's funny. So I'm now going to go outside and go down the elevator because I have a king piece, I have a queen piece, I have a knight piece, I have a bishop piece, I have a rook piece, and I have a pawn piece. So that is everything that I need to solve the chess puzzle.
I agree with Chad that Swimbird should get new friends.
Yeah, kind of in the dark for Swimbird.
Yeah.
Reeks of meddling. I think the editors had something to do with that one.
And notably, this is the point in time where I can mark off use an elevator because I am writing down an elevator here.
So you say that, but it's actually the other book that had some meddling, which.
Yeah. If we get, I mean, it's not on this board specifically, but I might at least show the book at some point if it becomes relevant. Who knows? Maybe
it might show up in Fog Quest.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to say. There's a chance that it just walk past that. No, it's right here. All right, here's the chessboard. Here's the layout of the house, and so it's actually real simple to figure out, which is just put the pieces on the same tiles that the actual chess pieces in those rooms in. And we have the opportunity to choose your chess piece. The chess piece I'm going to pick here is the King, which grants me the power Banner of the King, which is the power I talked about earlier. And I'm just going to reset the day here because I don't want to wander back into the house. But that's the chess power. So, now what I need to do is... got a few different lines I can take here. Go through... I can attempt to pursue the lever path. I can actually cause one lever to appear relatively quickly just by getting a hallway power in play here. I'm going to go outside and see what outer room I get here before I continue on first. I don't particularly care which outer room I'm looking for at this point in time. If you've got the right room upgrades, and also I need to indicate that I've used 3 upgrade discs at this point. If you have the right upgrade discs in play, you can get ivory dice for these. And I'm actually surprised I haven't seen any at all yet. So it's often a thing to... That's trading post.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So there's 2 things I'm going to do in here. So
more
dry box, which gets me an allowance token. Allowance doesn't... I don't think allowance is relevant for this board, but I'm also going to trade the microchips away. Power keys. That's funny.
Power keys?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that gets you another upgrade disc. Also, you've used 3 upgrade discs, right?
Yeah, I've used 3. I just haven't marked them off on the board yet. I also need to now to mark off trade a microchip, which is on the board. So, interestingly enough, I've got a slightly alternate line here that I can do in the early stages of the board. What I'm going to do is... I'm going to do blue rooms. There's several different reasons that I'm going to do this for. One is there's 8 draft 8 blue rooms in a row. I should be able to... Come on. Sorry, my game is acting upset here. Let me just open the menu and close it, and that should be fine.
No, we have not ended in Planetarium yet.
Yeah, I have not, but Planetarium is a blue room, so picking blue rooms here makes it more likely that it's going to show up.
Oh, I guess it is a blue room. You're right.
It is a blue room. Like, it's right there in the middle. I'm not picking it because I don't want to end this part of the day yet. It'll show up again later. That's pool. That's the main thing that I'm looking for here. That's a rank 3 security door. That's typical. So that's 4 blue rooms so far.
Also, chat, there are certain rooms that are more likely to reveal a security door. I think there are some rooms that just straight up can't have security doors.
I have not drafted security yet.
Nope. So that's how Escrant was not surprised to see a security door in pool, because it's not uncommon.
Yeah, let me do the other door is probably not a security door. Let me just go back there.
Yeah, pool almost never has 2 security doors. That's
High ballroom.
Hi, ballroom. Well, it's a blue room.
That's the second time I've seen ballroom this run, isn't it? That's bizarre.
That's unusual.
That is very unusual.
It took me like 25 days, 30 days before I saw that ever show up. I think, yeah, it was late for me. Sometimes he just...
Pump room's the thing I'm looking for here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 blue rooms. Microchip. I'm going to be spending a little bit of time in here because I'm going to set up the opportunity for me to get another floor plan and a lever downstairs. So bear with me for a few moments here. What I am ultimately going to do here is... that's not what I'm trying to do. I didn't actually wander over there in Tomb, but there is a large water reservoir in the tomb area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the water level in the reservoir to be exactly 1 lower than it is right now. And just, possibly do a couple of other things while I'm here. But in doing so, I will, the following day, using the King banner, be able to draft Tomb almost guaranteed. Okay. And in so doing, I will be able to cross the reservoir using the setup I'm doing here. And there is a floor plan down there, and there is a lever down there as well. A very important lever, as it turns out.
Why are you draining it that far?
So now I can just do this and push the button, and there's 3 units in it, so it will be 1 level lower than normal. So that's set up, and I can just move on.
Oh, okay, so you solved the puzzle differently than I do, because I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
That's the weirdest solution I've ever seen for that.
There's a few different ways to do that. That is consistently been the way that I conceptualize setting that up, because it's, 4 in, 1 out, 3 back. So that's security, which I was looking for earlier. I can now open security doors without having the key card.
Very nice.
Show me a garage. Perfect.
So I'm going to actually mention piercing rooms. So there are certain rooms that can appear on the edge, which some of them are actually piercing only, which means you can't draft them going up or down. You can only draft them hitting the edge of the house. from the side. Garage is one that can be drafted. I believe you can go up or pierce with it. But terrace, for example, is one that can only be drafted in a piercing manner.
Are there any like really obscure like rooms that just like there's? I know that you have like her ladyship's chamber that's like west side facing south. Is that like the most specific room that has like the most requirements to draft, or are there other weird ones?
Hey, I saw Gelly in chat earlier. Hey, Gelly. Can you help us out with that one? I'm gonna call in the real experts for that.
Oh, this is funny. Locker room is one of the rooms with spread effects, and I have a conference room in place. So the keys from the locker room actually just showed up here in the conference room. I have more keys than I know what to do with today.
Keys are just nice. Okay, so we got some effects. Master bedroom is east wing only. Yes, that's also true. That's very true. Boiler could be drafted. Pierce. Okay. I'll believe you on that one. I don't know for sure about that. There's a number of like odd little specific things, and we are learning more and more about them. Oh, hi, Drafting Studio.
I have a magnifying glass. No, I don't.
Okay, well, you have options now.
I have options now. That is wild. Just gonna refresh my gens before I keep going here. The main thing I'm fishing for here right now is planetarium. So if I get to rank 9 as well, so be it. That would be good.
Are you trying to tell me you don't want to become cursed?
Well, I mean, I've done there's planetarium. I am going to continue on this day a little bit further at this point, but I'm probably just going to end planetarium. I do want to hit at least rank 8 here so I can eat in the dining room.
I'm not sure we've explained ranks to chat yet. If
yes,
yeah.
So
I'll pull up the board in a moment. There's library again.
Yeah,
it's funny.
So you
ranks,
start on.
Yeah, so
Entrance hall starts on rank 1, and then each row up is a new rank until antechamber is in rank 9.
Yeah.
You can see it in the bottom right corner of the screen where it'll tell you the room name and below it what rank you're on. There are certain effects that only appear in certain ranks. So for example, the dining room, the meal in the dining room does not get revealed until you reach rank 8. And you have to actually, I believe, enter rank 8 for it to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so in this case, I want to hit at least rank 8 for the dining room trigger so I can eat in the dining room. But if I reach... Oh, speaking of boiler room, that's fascinating. I'm not going to do the puzzle unless I absolutely have to.
Hi, boiler room. That's... Oh, hi, archives.
I don't really need to read the newspaper clipping in here. So, because I can just hit rank 9 here anyway. There's the dining room triggering.
Hi, Elzara.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yep. High music room. So that's rank 9.
What key are we gonna get? We get some gamba.
Ooh. Please let this door be locked. Please let this door be locked. Please let this door be locked.
SGC or SGK. Secret garden key.
Yes. I love this. Let's go. All right, I'm cheering here because Secret Garden is one of the rooms that has a lever in it.
And you can only draft the Secret Garden by using that key.
On a locked door.
On a locked door.
Into one of the wings.
Yeah, it has to be on the edge.
Yeah. And specifically not in one of the corners. It has to be along the edge, not in one of the corners.
Yeah, it has 3 doors, and therefore it would be ineligible regardless for a corner.
Yep. How many safes do I have today? Just for curiosity.
You also have a conference room. You're kind of drowning in fruit now.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to draft a couple of times here, see if I can fish up a safe. But otherwise, I'm just going to go back to the conference room and gorge. Hi, Secret Passage. This is probably the most useless place for you to show up. Okay.
That was a nice little circle.
Yep. Do I need to continue this day is the question. There's office again when I have no gems. That's unfortunate, actually, because office is a... You know what? No, I'm just going to end this day. No, not
You're not going to eat from the dining room?
I'm going to go back to... Well, I don't need to eat from the dining room at this point, but I do need to end in the planetarium.
Why is that?
Good catch, good catch.
I need to end in the planetarium because it's a board objective, which I'm about to take off.
But also by ending in the planetarium, you gain 2 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Stars being another thing, another item that you can collect in game that is mostly permanent, I'll say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, actually, I have a guaranteed lever downstairs if I need it, but I'm going to take a slightly different approach here. And, well, before I do that, let me get in an outer room here. I have the option of doing black prints and drafting tomb to get a guaranteed lever. That lever takes forever to get to. So instead, what I'm going to do once I get back into the house is do hallways and fish for foyer great hall to get another lever. And funnily enough, that would be another upgrade disc as well. That's schoolhouse again. That's hilarious. I don't really need schoolhouse or hobble at this point, so I'm just going to take shelter.
That's a safe. That's a safe.
It is a safe, yes, actually. What day is it? So, to do some quick math here. I think this...
I hate this safe. This is one of the worst safes, but it is a safe.
So I just checked. It's April 21st, 2026. That is the date, if you forgot.
Yes. That is today's date here, but at Mount Holly, that is not the date.
I'm pretty sure it's the 13th. No, it's the 12th. Okay. So, in-game...
we do also have a tool for this.
Yeah. That's what I'm quickly checking out. The in-game timer starts at 8 o'clock. You have to set it at least an hour further ahead. So by the time you get down here, the earliest you can set it is for 10 o'clock. So now I just need this day to go long enough for me to open the safe and hopefully get 3 other safes in the process. The drafting studio is one of those safes. Other safes are in the office. You've seen that. The drawing room, you've seen that. The boudoir and the study. So realistically, if I'm fishing for safes here, I should go for blueprints.
Yeah.
I am going to take hallways, like I said before, though. There's Great Hall.
So I see chat talking about double speed. This game does actually have a few things that make you go faster. The main one,
the running shoes.
The running shoes. They do actually speed you up ever so slightly. This is a thing that got tested extensively and blew a few minds when it happened.
Mm-hmm. It's a trunk, funnily enough. Okay, I have 2 trunks today. Do I have a sledgehammer to go with? Okay, so my Great Hall choices are down to 3. Hopefully I just get a foyer before I need to worry about gambling on Great Hall doors.
That'd be very helpful.
Yeah. No, I'm going to drop north of West Wing Hall here. If you've got, I might just pull corridor here, but if you've got corridor and play, drafting along the wings makes it very likely that you get foyer. Now let's find out. Case in point, exactly as planned. All right. Funnily enough, open all doors in Great Hall is not on this board because normally the 7 main doors in the Great Hall, normally you don't open them from the backside. So 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and 1 in the center are all locked. That is the gimmick of the room. But with avoiding play, it just unlocks all of those doors for you. It's very nice because you get a lever. And you also get an upgrade disc. So that actually paid off handsomely, didn't it? So now I'm just fishing for safes at this point. Which is...
Yeah, it seems to be going quite well.
Mm-hmm. Really, if you can get chests early enough, it sort of defines the rest of the seed for you. Those drafting options that I don't want to use another. What kind of meta progression do we bring into this run? We do usually unlock a lot of the permanent upgrades that you can get fairly early on. But other than that, we don't. As Sil was explaining earlier, we don't usually go to the extent of hitting room 46 or anything that's major late game stuff. So it's well. I say that, and my mind immediately goes to there is a variant of this called hard mode, which I'm pushing up partly because I implemented a lot of hard mode based on the specifications of a lot of the rest of the community, where the objectives get much more difficult towards the end of the game and involve a lot of late game stuff. So in this mode, not a lot of it. In hard mode, much more of it.
Right. Yeah, we're not really bringing meta progression into this outside of just knowledge of how to solve the puzzles. It starts from a fresh save file. You're not bringing in upgrades with you. Unlike, I know some roguelikes where they get run off of functionally New Game Plus files. This one is not. We do start these files fresh every time.
There's one safe. Let's see.
Was that one safe today? I thought there was two.
I'm not counting the shelter until I actually open the safe.
Gotcha.
So it's actually probably easiest to get 4 safes with blue banner. Now that's East Wing Hall. That's hilarious.
Hi, East Wing. East Wing and West Wing Hall obviously can only be drafted on the East and West Wings. Pretty logical. Oh, hi, Sledgehammer.
I think I've got a couple of chests elsewhere if I need more resources. Boudoir, that's safe number 2. So if I can get study, study, office, drafting studio, if I get a magnifying glass from somewhere. So let's go.
Hi, office.
All right, so we're basically done here. I just need to go and wait for the 4th safe to open.
Do you not need to interact with the safe?
I mean, the safe's already open. I can claim the gem from it if I want to, but as long as the safe's open, that's what qualifies. But for austerity, let me grab the gem out of the office safe.
Yeah, I'm recalling back from a previous update of the game where when the game first released, you had to open the safe every time.
Yeah.
Now, once you open it once, it stays open, which is a nice quality of life feature.
Yeah, most of my casual playthrough of this game was before that particular patch was released. It's just before 9 o'clock in game, so you know what? Because it would be boring to just sit around and wait for that last safe to open, I need to keep an eye. That's a key card. I can open the door.
Yeah, I was gonna say, be careful of your steps.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on my steps here because I do need to be able to get back outside and to wait for the safe to open. Just looking to see where are the best places for me to go if I don't want to stray too far from the entrance here. So I can also draft a kitchen to get me some steps. So it's the weird random chance that I draft a study and just end the run immediately. That's probably not going to happen now. All right, well, I'm here. And just
shelter! You sheltered the lavatory.
I sheltered the lavatory. That's funny. And I'm just gonna wait here for a couple of seconds, just so I can take off, spend 30 seconds in the lavatory. I could go back to can I get back to the archives and still have enough? Yes, and we're literally going to be passing back to the archives. So I might just take the opportunity to read a newspaper clipping while I'm there as well.
You have an upgrade disc in your inventory that you could also just use.
Oh yeah, I can do that too. That's 30 seconds. I've been watching the clock. Hopefully. Thank you for the reminder about the upgrade disc.
Let's see what we get.
Nursery. And this lets me take off another objective, funnily enough. This is one of the floor plans that can change colors. So if I pick this option specifically, the indoor nursery, it goes from being a bedroom to being a green room. Indoor nursery is also, it tends to be one of my favored upgrades specifically for this mode, just because firstly, it can change rooms color. Secondly, it's very good at getting lots of gems, like the 15 gem square, right? Let me just pick a newspaper clip here. Marigold wins Herald Literary Honor. Popular children's writer Marion Marigold adds yet another feather to her scholastic cap when she discovered on Thursday that her picture book, Swimbird, you all know and love Swimbird here, chat, had been chosen as the Herald Literary Medal Illustrated Book of the Year. This is Marigold's second time winning the prestigious honor. The previous medal was, of course, for her debut effort. The text cuts off there, but her debut effort is The Red Prince. If we're lucky, we might get to read that in the next run I'm going to be doing. Anyway, since I'm running short on steps here, I'm just going to go back outside at this point. Use a little bit of time here.
I see confusion about staying in the lavatory for 30 seconds. That is entirely a joke, because BQuest Bingo, the mode, was invented for new game submissions for SGDQ 25, where, of course, it got in. It was raced by Bobby Burham and Rad Ringtail. And so as a result, a lot of the original bingo squares had a lot of memes to them. It's important to take bio breaks while you're gaming.
Well, there's a little bit more to it than that, actually. So you wouldn't know this because you haven't actually played Dare Mode at any point, but there is a gameplay mode in this game called Dare Mode specifically. Funnily enough, Dare Mode actually is themed around Swimbird, and the last four passages in Dare Mode show up as the only lines that Simon ever speaks in the game. If you happen to fail. The concept behind Dare Mode is that you're issued a list of dares, normally up to 4, but under specific conditions in the game. You can actually get the game to generate more dares for you. But one of those dares is to spend 30 seconds in the lavatory every day.
Yeah, that's fair. I do believe, though, the original origin of that square comes from we're taking a bio break because that's funny.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of both.
Headset for tech. Time will end as soon as Escron successfully gets this safe open.
Yeah, so it's just a waiting game at this point. This is the fourth save. The save actually needs to be open. I can pick up the gem for posterity, but it is. So we're going to be waiting for like 2 or 3 minutes, just for the remaining in-game time to take over to 10 o'clock and for this to open up. So while we wait for this might be a good opportunity for the most exciting part. There's very few instances in which it actually makes sense to wait for the safe to open. That's just how the board turned out this time around. But once this run's done, that's not where we're going to be leaving off for the evening. You'll get the opportunity to see a later variant of BQuest Bingo, which I'm going to be running next, which is called Fog Quest. And it seems like while we're waiting here for this safe to open is a good opportunity for me to explain what this is about. You can see from the very beginning of this board here, I sort of planned out how I would be operating to the very end of the board. Like, I knew I was going to be probably working towards chess power with floor plans as an objective. Grade 5 is something which spins out of the schoolhouse. It is notoriously difficult to get right and notoriously risky to attempt to get grade 5. So in Fog Quest specifically, you do not get to see most of the board in advance. When I reveal the board for Fog Quest, most of the objective squares are fogged out. You do not get to see what they are, and you can only reveal a fogged square once you complete an objective immediately next to it. So for those purposes, so because you always know Open West Gate and Open Orchard Gate, those instead are moved to be the 2 tiles next to Start, and there's a random objective to the directly above that, but only when you actually open the West Gate or open the Orchard Gate do you get to see the 2 tiles next to that, and only when you reveal the objective immediately north of start will you get to see the objectives next to that. So you can't really plan things out in advance in Fog Quest. And there's an additional constraint in that. So we've got objectives here like gain chest power, most notably, or pull 2 unique levers, where those are things that you can accomplish nearly an effectively infinite amount of times during the run. You don't get to count progress towards those squares until you've actually revealed the objective. Now, for things like upgrade discs, where there's a finite number of them, you certainly can count those in advance. And if you reveal use 4 upgrade discs when you've already used 4 upgrade discs, then you just get to take out the square off immediately. So only for permanent upgrades like upgrade discs or allowance or stars or things like that do you get to take off squares immediately upon revealing them.
So I see in chat someone asking about drafting both exits from Darkroom. Much like the game, where more common rooms tend to appear on lower ranks and more rare rooms appear higher up, the B-Quest bingo board is built similar in that easier objectives are near the start and harder objectives are near the goal. So you're correct. Drafting both exits from Darkroom isn't that hard of a thing to do. You just have to draft Darkroom in a spot where you can open both doors. Mm-hmm. But that's why
there it is. That's time right there.
GG.
GG.
Great. I should actually take off horse first and just to get
yeah, so let's have it. So we had the full red. There we go. You made it to the front.
Yeah.
Or no, you made it. Well, okay. You made it to the goal, which is at the back. But we did it. We made it through.
Yeah.
I wanted to comment on this before we go into our break. I like the little optional tracking you have where you can see it's like, okay, check them off because we've done once.
There's a couple of different things you can do. Like I tend to like tracking that I've done things more than required at this point. So I actually use 5 upgrade discs this run, but the mode just to the dots in the upper left corner of the scars, that's usually used just for indicating what your intended path here is. So we can see that I didn't quite match that I planned just because I happened to get chess early enough on to make this line significantly easier. But yeah, that's it's very handy for planning these. It'll be less useful in Fog Quest, but I'll still at the very least be making use of the numeric tracking. Anyway, Kiara, anything more you want to get into before we get set up for the next part of the evening?
Yeah, well, first of all, GG's, and I'm excited to see more of the game since naturally, as you alluded to, since we don't see all the objectives, it's not going to be as optimal because here you can just prepare so much in advance, and you're going to have to explore forward and figure it out as we go. So you may be seeing a lot more game after the break. But there is something important I do want to bring up before we head into that break, and that is that GDQ's next Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month celebration is going to be live May 23rd and 24th, and time is running out for submissions. So if you're an Asian or Pacific Islander speedrunner, use !AAPI in Twitch chat and submit your runs by April 23rd. So you still have a couple days left if you're thinking of doing a submission. So we'd love to see everything that you all have to offer. So please consider heading over there and showing us what you got. Also, Summer Games Done Quick 2026 will be live in Minneapolis, Minnesota from July 5th through the 11th. You can visit gdq.gg to learn. And welcome back from the break, everybody. Once again, you're watching Game Masters here on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. I'm your host, Kiara_TV. We are back with S-Grunt and Cell, lovely on the comms, as we head into another variant of Blueprint. So you just saw like a standard B-Quest bingo, and now we are heading into a Fog Quest bingo. So as you can see on your screen right now, there's a tracker, but there's no objectives on it, S-Grunt. What's going on?
Well, I mean, at this exact point in time, there's no objectives on the board because I haven't revealed the board yet. But once I get underway here, the main difference between what you just saw in B-Quest and what you're about to see in Fog Quest is that I will not be able to see most of the board in advance here. I will only be able to see the 3 objectives that are immediately next to start. And in order to see more of the board, I need to complete those objectives to reveal the squares on the board that are immediately adjacent to them. So I will not be able to plan most of this in advance. I just sort of need to figure things out as I go along.
Now, GD objectives that we see, are they just random throughout, or is like a progression basically built into the randomizer.
Yeah, so as with BQuest, and as with the layout of the house in the game, easier objectives tend to be towards the bottom of the board, more difficult objectives tend to be towards the top of the board, and there's a specific pool of what it's internally called very hard objectives, which are the 3 that are immediately next to the goal pile. In this case, I will not be able to see which of those final objectives I need to complete until I actually get up there on the board.
Okay. Yeah, so if you attack from the left, you could just get a really bad objective, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep the audience waiting. So, Escron, whenever you are ready, go ahead and count us in.
Yeah. So, as with last time, time will start once I gain control of the player character, Simon. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the new game button and skip the opening cutscene and reveal the board at the usual cadence. And time will start the moment you see the step indicator in the upper left corner of the board. So it's a lot of the time in marathon runs, we take a little bit more time to watch the opening cutscene to reveal the board. Ooh, that is a very tricky objective off the start. All right, time starts now, and I'm going to play this much as I did the opening for the BQuest run. Sort of angle for, early garage, early breaker box.
You're still going to aim to activate V mode?
Yeah, that is what I'm doing.
All right.
Yeah.
So those who missed the explanation of V mode, that's veteran mode. And if you draft 3 rooms in the first 35 seconds, 4 rooms, there's a little bit of availability if you miss the 3 rooms in 35 seconds window. But basically the game then goes, you know what you're doing, and gives you some increased luck and takes a little bit of the RNG out of the initial early game. Quick recap for those who missed the start of the previous run.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, it's 3 rooms in 35, 4 in 55 and 60. But what I'm aiming for here specifically is drafting the east side of the house until I specifically see the utility closet. Now, that's where what I do here differs between BQuest and FogQuest, because I want to see what my remaining objectives are sooner rather than later. So the moment that I have the utility closet to play to open the gemstone cavern, as well as unlock the garage, then I am going to go back outside and open the orchard gate. This is really... There's the utility closet. I'm about to say this is... I don't usually drop this many rooms before the utility closet shows up. So solving this puzzle is what opens the back panel of this room. There are various clues throughout the game that indicate that that's the pattern you're supposed to put in there and exactly how to do it. By now, it's mostly just muscle memory for me. There's a few different optimal ways you can, more or less optimal ways you can put the pattern. That just happens to be the one that I'm used to doing. But now that I've done that, now that the gemstone cavern's open, I'm going to immediately go back outside and open the orchard gate, as well as turn on the 2 blue flames there in case that becomes relevant. The blue flames are one of the things which are permanently turned on unless you go back and turn them off. So if 4 blue flames shows up later on, I'll be able to count any blue flames that I've lit at that point towards that objective. Okay, so normally I would go into the den and continue drafting from there, but let's go outside and say hi to the gemstone cavern, say hi to the orchard, and see what the next couple of objectives that I need to worry about are. Fortunately, the objectives directly north of directly north of these 2, the west gate and the orchard gate tiles, and the ones in the corners as well in this mode are easy objectives, so it should be relatively straightforward. The one immediately north of start is a medium difficulty objective. Alright, so in just a moment I will be back over to the orchard gate and we'll get to see what our first 2 additional revealed objectives are.
So only ones that are directly touching are revealed. Diagonal ones do not. So
we will see that in just a moment here, because I am now opening the orchard gate. Alright. What we got? There it is. Read the red prints aloud.
Thank you, Gelly. Gelly being the community member who is mostly responsible for making this fog board.
Alright, so now I go back into the house and start drafting out of the den and hope that I get to the garage. I have a fairly good but not flawless track record of getting a day one garage. So we'll see how this unfolds.
I believe because you got... No, as long as you don't open the west gate. Right. If you don't open west gate, then utility closet is more likely to appear because the game wants to prompt you to be able to get out and open the west gate.
Interestingly enough, there's some additional logic where if you draft the garage first and the utility closet is not in play, it also increases the likelihood that you will see the utility closet.
But you can make it happen on subsequent days as well, just by not opening the west gate. You might be like, why would you ever want to do that? I don't know. Speedrunners are weird. We sometimes like to do really weird things.
Okay, I might be out of luck here. We'll see.
Ooh.
I could take the nursery here, but nursery is one of the rooms that has a copy of the red prints in it. I consider it more important for me to get the garage here. Also, the utility closet can turn up the lights in the gymnasium, which is why I'm not losing steps going through there. Okay, so that's... Look, I'm sure the community has my best interest in mind when they're crafting those boards. Smile.
I'm sure they do, but you know the power being off to the gymnasium, stopping the bad effects, like really has some funny implications. Like, oh, you go into the gymnasium and it's like, oh well, it's like you couldn't help but go throw a b-ball or two. You know, it's just like when the lights drop. Oh, I can't do it.
We're testing it.
Oh, Zara.
Of course, that would be there. Right. The other thing which is showing
Gilly is very content-pilled with this. I love it.
This is an interesting poll here. That's 2 day one schoolhouses and 2 runs. That's fascinating. I do not usually get this lucky at seeing the schoolhouse.
That's how you know that V-mode is active, because normally, if you were to draft the outer room on day 1 without V-mode active, there are 3 specific rooms that will appear. Just like on a fresh file, the first 3 rooms you get offered will always be the same. And there's a whole reason why we take closet.
Yeah, like you've noticed the very first set of rooms I was offered in both runs, if you saw the beginning of the last run, was bedroom, closet, hallway. That is a fixed first draft. Now, for quite some time earlier on in the game's history, it would also be the case that even in V mode, the very first set of rooms you get offered from the outer room would also be fixed. Oh, this is just the end of this day, isn't it? Oh, well.
Well, another thing that happens always on day 1 is bedroom always has a chest in it.
Yeah. But I don't need to open that right now because there's nothing in there that I have.
Oh, you could have gone and gotten planetarium.
Yeah, I didn't remember that I drafted the observatory, that's all. But yeah, the reason 2 floor plans is an easy objective is because if you're in the know, there are 2 floor plans which are extremely easy to get. One of those being the planetarium, which is the one that I did not just get on that day. The other is the conservatory, which just requires a shovel and knowledge of where it is. That's a funny observation, Hido. Hido is one of the people who helped vet this board, so that's Hobble. That's 2 runs of 2 where I have chess conditions on data. I'm not intentionally going to seek out chess this early, this time around, because if I do get chess, I would have to get chess again. Like, I can sort of angle towards that anyway. I'm not going to make it a huge priority at this point in time, just because I've got more more immediate things that I need to worry about here, like getting those 2 floor plans.
So a thing to address with Fog Quest, because we cannot see what's coming up, if it's something that's permanent, so like turning on the blue flames, yes, you can technically turn them off. I don't know why you would, unless you're me, who regularly misclicks back in and turns them off and clicking back in from touching the board. We consider that permanent, just like using upgrade discs. So if Escurant later reveals that, there's a use 5 upgrade discs and he's already used 5 upgrade discs, cool, he can immediately check it off. Because it is considered, it's a permanent upgrade, it's a permanent unlock, and therefore, you can't go do it again.
Yeah, notably for the sake of that example, use 5 upgrade discs is one of the very hard objectives, which can appear next to the goal. So, if my usual upgrade disc luck holds, I might just be able to win instantly by getting adjacent to one of the ending tiles like that. Ooh, I will take the nursery here. Actually, maybe Kiara's had the chance to read something. I've had the chance to read something. Sel, do you want to read us The Red Prince?
Sure. The Red Prince by Marion Marigold. There was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown made of rubies and a red castle made of stone. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. And he could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow. He never looked up for fear of the view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. So he always had a book to turn his eyes down if he was ever outside when the clouds weren't around. And do you know which book the prince always had? The one that made him happy whenever he was sad? A story he had read in the bath and the bed, and maybe you can guess with the clues that we have said. It was the story of a boy who also wore red, and he looked like our prince from his toes to his head. And as you, my reader, might already assume, this book is quite near you, in fact, in the same room. A story about you, if it needs to be said, about a red prince and his book, the red book we just read.
A round of applause for that chat.
Yay! Good job, Seth.
Okay,
I prefer the other version of it.
Yeah.
We don't talk too hard about that.
Yeah, there's some in-game lore related to the history of that book. I'm not going to get into it. Instead, I'm going to mention, I have 5 games. I have an objective on the board to fail one part. I'm going to intentionally open the wrong box here.
What does this do for you? Why
you see the objective on the board is fail one
Oh, it
parlor,
literally
so
said fail. Okay, yeah, I can read, I promise.
Hi, Greenhouse. This is a fascinating ball here. Do I have the... Yeah, we go. What is my item in here, then? Sledgehammer. Interesting. One of the items that can spawn in the greenhouse is the watering can, which has the effect of if you enter a green room, you can use the watering can and you can get a gem, up to 3 uses normally. But if you're careful about how you enter the greenhouse, if the watering can is sitting there, you can actually use it immediately upon entering the greenhouse. So that's why I sort of tentatively peeked in there to see if the watering can was there and be able to use it immediately. Anyway, the remaining objectives here, they nearly revealed. One is draft 4 archive floor plans. So I'm intentionally going to take a red room here to see if I can pull the archives here. Pull the archives there. I am going to take the aquarium because, as you can, well, this is probably irrelevant for our purposes, but there's N with a live animal. There are, of course, live fishies in here, but I don't actually need to do that objective here.
Don't panic about the fishies being live. I promise you, they're fine if a certain thing happens. If you know, you know.
Well,
it's okay.
Yeah, we saw the pump room earlier on in the run. One of the things you can do in the pump room is drain the aquariums. Don't worry, the fishes are fine.
We take them out before we drain the aquarium, definitely.
That's a great oyster. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you put them in the reservoir.
It doesn't count, though.
It doesn't count. One of the objectives that can appear in the higher ranks of the board is draft the cloister for free, which I just did. I can't count that unless I reveal the objective and do it again later.
Because that is not a permanent one.
I really want to put the passageway down here. I wouldn't put it past the house plumbing to work that way, Pickled.
Yeah, flushing the toilet and lavatory, draining the aquarium. I could really truly see that in this house.
Okay, so I might have a chance at drafting a donut here. So let me see if I can... That's the pool. That's fascinating.
Hi, pool.
One thing which I seem to be better at than some people in the community is getting the pool to appear. The pool never shows up when you need it to. Okay, I'm going to take the dark room here specifically to draft this, whatever it is. And if I look at the map, that's the pump room, funnily enough. I've got 8 rooms surrounding an empty square. That is drafting a donut. We're going to increase the rooms right now. Yet. Do I have anything I want to do in here? We'll drop this next room, but I think I will set up the... Actually, I can do something else interesting here while I'm at it. Because I also have the greenhouse in play, funnily enough. It's not relevant today, but one of the objectives that can occur later on in the board is to collect a flower gem. And if I happen to be back on that side of the mansion, then I will show you what a flower gem is. Because setting up the pump room here is one of the ways you can get... That's the wrong direction. Setting up the pump room here to water the greenhouse specifically, which I'm going to do in a moment. I'll probably... the other thing I'm actually going to do here is drain the pool as much as possible. Because one of the objectives which can appear later on is retrieve a coin from draining water. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time in here than I normally would otherwise. Now while I wait for that, I can just... the walk-in closet here. If you fill in the donut, that's a cupcake. That's funny. Filling in the donut after you've drafted it is fine. You just have to have that shape on the board at some point in time. It is tank 1, okay. So I'll need to do a little bit of chicanery with probably the fountain, because I don't want to touch the reservoir at this point in time in order to fully drain the pool. Greenhouse is fully watered now, so if I go back there and the greenhouse isn't in one of a few specific spots, which it's in a spot which actually can spawn flower gems, because the main spot where it can't is actually rank 2 on the west wing. Okay. So I need to... That's set up properly already. Drain a little bit out of the fountain to make room for to finish emptying the remaining tiles of the pool. And you'll see why I'm draining the pool in a moment once I go back there. This is basically just set up for objectives that can appear later on in the run. And once I hit the button here, that's good enough. Despite the animations, the water level changes actually take effect immediately. This is because even though it's not finished pumping, the water's already been drained into the pool. So there's coins down here. The very first time you do this, you get exactly 14 coins. Subsequent times you draft the pool, it's less than that. But one of the objectives which can appear later on the board is retrieve a coin from draining water. So if that shows up later on in the run, I just need to drop the pool to make that happen. Hello, locker room. That is unfortunate, because that ends my day. I will take a quick detour back to the greenhouse just so you can see the flower gems, but other than that, I'm just going to end the day here. So I no longer have anything I can do on this day. Don't think I didn't drop observatory again without noticing. Oh yeah. So the next thing I'm going to be eyeing here is permanently increase the room's rarity. The most obvious way to do that is via the room which you may have seen in the earlier run, which I never had the chance to draft, called the conservatory. Flower gems. If I come back, if I get the greenhouse again later on, I'll be able to get flower gems from here. The conservatory which can only be drafted in corners of the manor, allows you to adjust room rarities. So in this case, I need to make a room more rare. Increase the rarity. Increase it being rare. I could gamble on getting a key card out of the locker. It's more important for me right now to go fishing for a shovel and the conservatory at this point, I think.
As we're just starting the day here, I gotta ask, is there a particular bingo mode that either of you prefer? Like, it's like, oh, this one is just what I find myself doing if I just gotta wake up, I'm gonna go do a Blueprints bingo. It's gonna be
B-Quest.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
I am a noted disliker of Fog Quest. I think it's very cool. I don't like Fog Quest. I don't like playing it.
That is the strangest combination of items I've ever seen in the tool shed.
Oh, hey, you can permanently increase the room's rarity now.
I certainly can. The gear wrench is one of the other ways. It's a very rare item. But the gear wrench, if you drop a mechanical room specifically, then it gives you the opportunity to adjust the rarity of that room. So this is a very strange turn of events. I think the thing I would be hoping for in this case is utility closet, because you don't really need to do much with it past getting the garage open. But let's drop back in this direction. I had some very strange interactions with the gear wrench specifically. In particular, when I was playing curse mode, I had a very early wrench which let me set the boiler room to common, which basically made the entire rest of the run. So there's the observatory. I need to take this for the floor plan. Yeah, the planetarium is hidden in the telescope. You may have been here earlier to see that, but I could set this up for 2 chests in the entry hall if I really want to. I might do that. It doesn't take long from this position. But yeah, the observatory, you can see the star counter in the upper left corner. Stars are a permanent upgrade. Stars, that is the wrong direction. Stars impact what you see when you look through the telescope. They have a couple of other very niche applications as well. But when I look through the telescope here in a moment, you will see a constellation. There's a whole set of these. There's a book here, which I'm not going to open up, which explains what these constellations are and what their effect are. But in this case, having 2 stars has just added 2 chests to the entry hall. So if I get a sledgehammer or sufficient keys to open these 2 trunks, then I will, because they tend to have resources in them. Oh, I hate doing this, but I'm going to do it.
Ooh. Oh, Seven's laboratory.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see you again.
Alright, while I'm here, let me see if we've got any interesting lab experiments to do for trunk. This could be funny.
Yeah, that could help too.
There is a set of objectives. Stars are permanent objectives. I believe it's medium is 5 stars. Hard is 10 stars. Very hard as a possible ending goal is 15 stars. See here, need common least. So I will spend some time collecting stars here and there. I really don't want to be in the position where I need to grind for stars to complete the board, but it is a possibility. So I'll be keeping an eye out for opportunities to increase the stars that I've got, just in case that it appears in a spot that turns out to be relevant. Anyway, the new objectives here are, there's nursery again, funnily enough, but I'm going to take parlor just for gems. I think we've seen all 3 dining room, kitchen, and pantry. You've seen me eat in the pantry. You have not seen me eat in the kitchen or the dining room at this point.
I just had a really terrible idea.
Oh?
Yeah. What if you're going through the bingo board, right, in Fog Quest? And you keep on going north, and then you hit a locked door on the bingo board. Unlock it with another square. Yeah.
Oh.
You gotta find a square that has a key in it. Yeah, good luck.
No items in here.
That sounds like a really awful but also really funny mode idea.
All right. Whoever
And
makes
that-
BQuest bingo, you got a job.
Yeah. All right. So that's the garage. Actually, this ends my day, basically. However, before I do that, I'm going to open the 2 trunks in the entry hall just to get stars from them. That's a key card that I don't actually need because there's no doors left. And that's dice that I can't use because I've got no draft spots left. Oh! So it goes sometimes. Anyway, the main things so ideally I find, enough progress to be able to hit pantry, kitchen, dining a day. Failing that, I can get dartboards, or if there's also eating in the dining room 2 times, which that will help towards. But there's all sorts of other things that I can do if that path ends up not working out. Just for the sake of getting to show it to chat, I am really hoping we get the Rumpus Room at some point so I can bring up the Elzara cutscene. It is an experience. It is very time consuming, but it is an experience.
It's good break time, right?
Uh-huh. Hi, Tomb. Security is common. I should be able to get the terminal for this fairly easily. We're veering back into upgrade disk lock for me again, I guess. So yeah, I am. So I have the opportunity to do something very interesting here, actually, because I've already set up the pump room to do the rest of this now that I think about it. This is a little bit time waste. I'm not going to go and pull the lever that's down here, but I am going to claim the floor plan that's down here because I need a second floor plan for something, right? So I was explaining earlier, one of the things that I do in the pump room is set up the water level in the reservoir such that if I am down here specifically, that I can cross the reservoir. And I need to remember to cross back, because otherwise the boat's on the reservoir ends up on the wrong side. And I am going to set this up in case I need to come back down here and pull a lever later. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to claim the floor plan. This basement area that I'm about to get into is basically the last step in the puzzle of how to enter room 46 specifically, because this will become more obvious once I'm on the other side of the reservoir. There's this gear room. The minecart that I just pulled is what you need to set that up in order to be able to get to that tunnel on the far side that you see there. Down that, at the other end of that passage is the area called the Inner Sanctum, and the North Antechamber lever, which is the door that opens into room 46, is there. There is another north lever available, but it is in a location that is generally not found until much later night. But instead of that, while I am down here, I am going to claim the floor plan down here called the Mechanarium. There's actually a separate objective for adding the Mechanarium as a floor plan, just because you need to do this little convoluted bit of setup in order to get down there. But now I'm just going to turn around and go back outside and continue on with this day. So I've got an upgrade disk I want to use. I've got a new objective of opening 4 security doors if I happen to be able to set that up. Can I go back and take that key card from yesterday into today? That would make this much easier.
You gotta find the first, the right upgrade before you can do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do have an upgrade disk in hand. I should be able to pull security fairly easily with it set to common. I'll find out.
Ooh.
This is wild. Usually, the Mechanarium is usually not one of the 2 floor plans you do to get to add 2 new floors. Notably, because add Mechanarium is its own separate objective, because it is a permanent addition, if I reveal that later on the board, I will get to take it off immediately.
Again, adding floor plans is a permanent action, just like upgrading them.
Okay, so back into the house we go. label security relatively quickly here, so I can use this upgrade disc. Other things I'm going to look at for the billiard room for dartboards. I think I did one dartboard in the Beak Bus run. It's particular obfuscated type of math puzzle. Most dartboards you see in bingo runs are relatively simple, but they do scale up in difficulty. This is oof. Real weird drafting like. So in Fog Quest specifically, you need to be careful about the number of dartboards you do in advance, lest they get out of the territory get out of familiar territory, so to speak, since you do too many of them. Like, again, if I were like any dartboards that I had done before revealed the Salt 3 dartboards, that's the Rumpus Room. Strap in, chat.
There we go. Okay.
Hi, Elzara.
Hi, Elzara.
As it was foretold,
As it was foretold.
I am awakened at the sound of
It's kind of terrifying, to be honest. If I was a kid, I would have been like, I'm out of here.
face to face.
I think it's the fourth one that plays. I'm not going to say too much about it.
Yeah.
But it's really creepy, and it made me think for a hot second that I was not alone in this house. That's all I'm going to say about that cutscene. Go play the game.
Yeah.
Also, you can technically, I believe, skip these cutscenes, but that does not qualify for this objective. You must watch the entire cutscene.
Something he was told he would not find.
Yeah. These are very cryptic clues for some of the game's puzzles. This one in particular, not so much, but you learn some very interesting things from the other Elzara visions as well. Lots of lore to go about.
But the flag does not stir. I see a door marked by a rogue moon.
One thing that I've told a few people that I want to do sometimes is memorize the narration for this scene so that I can recite along with it.
Will not find a lost room.
Beyond the dark waters. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Azara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say. Okay, you have fun with that, chat? So, what's your favorite color room, Kiara?
I really, really love anything purple.
Well, I guess I don't get to take that newly revealed square off now. Oh. High vault?
Hold on, that's not a real square. Gelly's trolling us a little bit. I like it.
No, this
10 out of 10.
This is perfectly normal. I have no idea what you're talking about.
For chat's sake, no, that is not a normal square that exists. Gelly is playing tricks. Thank you. Although I will counter, hey Gelly, don't you know that red is the best color? It's the only true color, one might say. Ooh, a magnifying glass.
Let me just set this up.
I was gonna say prep that.
Yeah. I will need the magnifying glass again if the fine print comes up, but right now what I need is the gem, because I have car keys in hand. And I want to be able to drop security if it shows up so I can use the upgrade disc, and I want to be able to drop the garage if it shows up. so that I can get the upgrade disc out of the garage. That's the end of this day. Yeah. Fortunate. So, buy 2 upgrade discs, I guess? Yeah. But like I was saying during the last run, I'm very good at getting upgrade discs to appear. I am considerably less good at getting terminals to appear to use them on. Okay, so...
Just Power Lab. Just BB, Power Lab.
Yes, the lab which I have set to unusual because I needed to increase the room's rarity. Yes, I'm sure I'll be able to do that just fine.
Yeah, just Power Lab. Easy.
Oh, that's a fun thing I haven't done in a while. I set foot outside and back in quickly enough that I deducted 1 step rather than I expected 2. I just wanted to drop the microchip in case I draft trading post here. This is still somewhere in the back of my mind, but it's day 5. There is as I understand it, there is a slightly more optimal way to do that Mordjai box, that puzzle box. Okay, I'm going to keep the coin purse for the moment, but I will keep in mind that I can trade it away for dice. For the good luck. Not sure where my luck is at with this board quite yet at this point in time, but, well, we'll figure something out. This is a safe, which I can't do anything with that. But at the moment, I'm basically on the hunt for the enter button, apparently. But what to be able to get to rank 8 and with a dining room in place, I can get there with kitchen and pantry as well. I need the billiards room so I can solve dartboards. Security and utility closet would be good so I can open security doors. High servants' quarters. That's an interesting thing. I'm going to leave the corner undrafted right now just in case I get shovel. That's commissary. Maybe shovel will be here now. Don't need a magnifying glass right now. This is, that's a key card. Maybe I'll get security sooner rather than later and set that to high and get security doors to go with it. How we doing, chat? Are we having a good time here?
I know I am. I think there's at least one person in chat who's having a great time. So.
I'm sure there's at least two people in chat that are having a good time. Yeah, I will refrain from eating something in the kitchen at this point. Let me just grab these that I've got that. But got the coins. Well, I'll eat a banana while I'm here just to make sure that I'm eating in the kitchen. Let's kitchen. Maybe this will be the day that we get to rank 8 with a dining room and play high pool again. Yeah, so instead of the 14 coins that were here the first time that I drained that, there's only 4 coins there this time around. And this box contains gems. Yeah, so one thing I'll point out is because fail 1 parlor is on the board, there will not be any other parlor objectives on the board. So I can safely solve.
Well, you say that.
Normally there's only going to be one other. I'm assuming that this board still mostly follows the usual set of objectives, mostly. Can I get a single billiard room to show up here, please? That's... Now the game is just trolling me. All right. Let's try again for a day when I don't immediately run out of drafting spots, even with the dice in play. Yeah, sometimes you're just trying to make progress in the game with now. That's seems to be astonishingly more common in Fog Quest because of the I don't really need to pull a microchip or that training quest. It's not going to show up again. But with the reduced amount of things you're trying to do at any given point in time in Fog Quest, it's significantly more common just to run into dead-end scenarios like that where you can't really accomplish more. Schoolhouse again. I'm going to take Shrine just in the event that I can get something like Blessing of the High Roller into play here, which will help considerably. If and when I head back into the Shrine, I'll give a slightly more detailed explanation, but actually I have the coins to just do this immediately, so I will. The Shrine gives you the option of donating some of your coins to the Shrine in exchange for a blessing. The one that I'm going to do here right now is for 3 coins, the lowest amount of days that you can get it for, which is the Blessing of the High Roller, which if you drop to shop, it gives you a dice, and if you roll the dice, then it gives you coins back. Having the dice is very handy for trying to force things in the house. There's another mechanic associated with the Shrine where you can take those coins back to... you really need them, but if you take the coins back, you become cursed, which is something you might remember from the last board was become cursed as a prominently placed objective on that board. And yeah, in order to eat in the dining room, you need to hit ranking. That's another magnifying glass. That's wild. Security. Guess I get more upgrade discs. It's fine here. Any room in the corner? High vault.
Oh, high vault. That's
That's what 3 vaults I've seen in the drafting pool. This collectively between the 2 runs. That's wildly unusual.
It's odd that it's happened 3 times. I should have 3 nickels.
There's the gem. Before I continue drafting in that direction, I'm going to go see if I can scrunch up some more gems. Of course, I'm probably going to go back there and draft a greenhouse or something, which would be hilarious, but... Alright, parlor is adequate for this purpose. Anyway, we got pantry back in play, so I'll be keeping an eye out for kitchen and dining room again. I've been solving parlors every single day to this point. I'm starting to get into territory.
Parlors.
I'm starting to get
Parlors good room for that.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into territory which I'm slightly less familiar with. I still recognize these puzzles. It's just.
Yeah, how many are there? How many unique puzzles are there?
More than 100. Ooh, this is an interesting opportunity here. Pick Southern Cross specifically to try to get archives to show up. Why, yes. Rotunda is, in fact, a 4-way room, despite what the room looks like. It's just painfully slow to get it to face any of the other remaining directions. Oops, there's archives. Do I already have 3 open draft spots? I mean, 4. I don't, but... Is this office? No, that's passageway. Okay.
Well, at least you have lots of doors to draft out of now.
2. Not gonna do that there. That's Rotunda, almost guaranteed.
How can you be so certain?
That's 3. Because that's garage, interestingly enough. Because I have the constellation that I activated in the observatory is the Southern Cross, which makes 4-door rooms more likely to show up. The rotunda also costs 3 gems, so that makes it so it's a 4-door room that costs 3 gems. It's almost certainly going to be the rotunda in that spot. Yeah, just give me something that doesn't cost any gems, please, or at least give me something that I can use to get more gems to draft. But there we go. That's 4 archive floor plans. That's great haul. I have keys. Let me gamble a little bit here, so to speak. See if I can't pull the upgrade disc out from here.
Is there any logic to these doors in terms of like which ones open up, which ones, and you got, of course. All right.
Yeah.
There you go. So you have to have a.
It can't be. It would be this door.
No.
Right.
The lever is always in one of the corners. It's never in the middle one. And then the first time you draft Great Hall, the upgrade disc is on the opposite side of the hall from whichever side has the lever. So like there is a little bit of like knowledge of what's where, but predicting it,
yeah,
I don't believe we currently can.
Okay. The door in the passageway is probably going to be locked without me being able to do anything with it, but I'm going to go back there anyway. Actually, that dark room door. I'm going to have to blind drop this, but that's fine. TM, of course it's furnace.
The classic move.
Well, at least it's in my directory now if I need a full directory category later.
Yep.
Upgrade disc lock. You're seeing it in action.
Yep. Because the first time you open the car trunk, you get an upgrade disc, and also you can immediately just yoink it out of there the second you put the keys in.
Yeah, there's a few different cases where you can just immediately grab something despite it not finishing opening. I think the most interesting one that I haven't quite gotten the hang of yet is one of the things that I'm looking for right now, which is the dartboard in the billiard room. So
interesting. The one I do most often is I yoink the gem out of the office safe before the door finishes opening.
Right, so that's 2 upgrade discs used. Let me see if there's anything else I can open up here. So there's a good chance that this door is just locked in the date. And do I have a key card today? No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, buy a special key is associated with a room called the Locksmith. I think you've seen me have it show up in the drafting poll once, and I did not take it because I did not need it at that time. But the Locksmith sells keys, as you might imagine from the name. It costs 8 coins to buy a special key from the Locksmith. Today's outer room is... Still haven't seen a shovel anywhere. That's bizarre. How many times have I been offered Schoolhouse Hobble in these drafts at this point? And I think that's the 3rd time I've been offered
game
both in the same draft.
Hey, you like blue flames?
Yeah.
I personally prefer red flames, but sure. We'll take some blue flames.
Hi, library. I will set up the book here just in case I need to read it. Because we've already heard blueprints, I'm going to pick the other book that's relatively short in case we need to read something later.
Ugh, the pump manual.
This is a real weird pick, but I'm going to do that for... Is that a gem? And it's the memo. Never mind. Actually, I probably shouldn't have done that now that I think about it. Oh, there's High Roller moving into action finally. Because even if I do, there's an objective associated with the office and either the servants' quarters or the maid's chamber, which you saw come up with it, which is to cash a payroll check. The problem with that is that if you cash a payroll check, it goes on a cooldown for 7 in-game days, as you might imagine. And I don't want to do that early in case it comes up as an objective later on this board.
Yep, because if you do it too soon, it's a real headache to try and get to do it again.
Okay, can I get security to show up here? Because I have... That's... How many magnifying glasses have I found in this run so far? That's a lot. This is going to offer me garage, probably. The garage traffic. I don't want to take it. I want to see if I can get in morning room here.
Morning room is another weird room in that, depending on which side of the house you draw it on, it's guaranteed to be facing a certain way.
Yeah.
It has a specific orientation depending on which side. Also, we haven't said it, I don't think yet. Green rooms, with the exception of cloister and courtyard, have to be drafted on the outer edges.
Mm-hmm. Which makes it weird for some very interesting effects if you secret passage a green room somewhere in the middle of things, which, if you happen to be in that position later, I will explain more in detail what happens in that case, because it's relevant for an objective which I've mentioned earlier. No money to buy anything that I want there. I was hoping for a shovel there, but that did not turn up.
There was dice on the hand statue.
Nice.
Well, I actually don't think I can do anything else today, is the thing, with that door being locked. There's no keys here. The one remaining door that I have is locked.
Yeah.
And that's day 7, meaning that HLC can no longer appear unless I somehow get into room 46.
Her ladyship's chamber is no longer an option. We must now get the study if Esgrant is going to chest power.
Mm-hmm. Again, that's not... So that's going to be something which I'm even less actively looking for at this point in time. Yeah, was that the last day of... No, I've got one day left. High Roller Blessing. Still haven't seen a single billiard room this run. That's weird. It's supposed to be, one of the more common rooms that shows up. I think it's default to commonplace, and I still haven't seen one. Toolshed counts as a shop for Blessing of the High Roller purposes. There's car keys again. I've already used the upgrade. Don't need another magnifying glass. So I actually have used the upgrade disc out of the car trunk. If you get a coin purse before you pick up your allowance, then the coin purse bonus applies to your allowance as well. Walk through there if I can avoid doing so. Quick, yeah.
So,
yeah.
this game kind of goes pretty deep. So we have
sure
the
does.
primary objective, and then you got like the second credits, the third tertiary objective, and it keeps on going, right? Seemingly with no end. Is there like anything that's like deeper than usual that can potentially show up on these boards? Are we going to be like, no, nothing involving anything from the Sanctum is ever going to appear up here,
So on standard difficulty boards, if you know enough to get yourself into room 46, you're probably not going to be surprised by anything that shows up on the board. The hard one, which I was describing a little bit, that's that's funny, does go significantly deeper into the depths of the game. But generally on a regular bequest board, we're not really going to get that far into. That's a shovel, finally. Wow. I'm going to go dig up the conservatory.
Good shovel. We love shovel. Turnip. Let's go. The tastiest of snacks.
I'm just going to go use.
Chat. Do you like turnips?
Yay.
Oh, interesting. It's never turned up, you mean?
Exactly.
You're making me want to go grab a snack.
Get treats, microchip immediately.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I've ever had a turnip in my life. Yeah. It's just something that's never come up, you know?
Battery pack. Just gonna take the gems instead of the battery pack. I need the gems more right now.
Yeah, I know turnips.
So the easiest way for us to get Her Ladyship's chamber back again in availability is to
it's a real
room 46.
Nah, couldn't be.
And the chances are extremely low that I'm going to be doing that during this run.
Yeah, that would be very odd if that happened. Oh, thank you, chat, for playing off of my pun. I appreciate it. It's not even really my pun. I just borrowed it from common folklore about why it's turnips.
Yeah, surely you would have expected a few of these to turn up after the fact, right?
Okay, you know what? Rest of the show is yours. I'll be back. Yeah.
Okay, bye, Kiara.
Bye, Kiara.
I'll see you at the end. Our host is lovely, isn't she, chat? Give some love to Kiara for having us on.
Say nice things about Kiara, chat. Yeah, study can show up. It's considerably more difficult to get study to appear in these circumstances than it would be HLC if you have a reasonable grasp of drafting. Yeah,
study is inconsistent versus Her Ladyship's chamber. We can kind of sort of quasi-force if you know what you're doing.
I've had a surprising number of chess attempts be saved by study showing up randomly, but it's the exception rather than the rule.
Yes, there we go. Chat is following the instructions of saying nice things.
That's another rank 3 security door. Wow.
The game just has opinions right now.
The game certainly has opinions right now.
For context, you're more likely to see security doors the higher up you go. By default on a day, you can have 3 or 4, unless you then use security to modify the frequency of security doors. The lowest you can get is 1 per day. And of course, so that just increases, the further up you go, the more likely you run into them. I believe some rooms cannot have a security door. Other rooms are far more likely to have them. There's some math behind it.
Here I'm walking away from security when I have an upgrade disc in hand.
I was gonna say, why are you going away from security? You need to use security.
Yeah. Boudoir is one of the 2 bedrooms that you can upgrade that have dice in them, which the other is, as you saw, as the guest bedroom upgrade, which I did in the last run. That's 3 upgrade discs I've used now this run.
I actually don't know about digging up security cards.
It is.
Does that actually happen? I don't recall that ever happening to me.
I don't think you can do it with the base shovel. Is the thing. The most
that's my chat saying a jackhammer.
Oh! Speaking of upgrade disc luck, there's another battery pack to replace the one that I traded away.
Nice. Also, welcome back, Kiara.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. The clue for that particular dig slot is at a very funny location. Is dig up nothing on this board? No, it isn't.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
that's sad. Dig up nothing is a square that can appear.
It's very, but upgrade disc. The reason I dug up that spot is because that key opened up this filing cabinet for another upgrade disc.
Don't worry about the paper that's underneath it. It's not important at all.
Okay.
Three gems. If I do get a key card, actually one of the most likely places you can get a key card is the billiard room, where it's one of the options that can appear as your reward for solving the dartboard puzzle, which gives me one more reason that I would like to find a billiard room. The other thing that would be great to show up here is a utility closet, because then I can use that with security to unlock that security door and get through it.
Right.
And if I do that, then I set security to spawn more security doors so I can get 4 in a day.
Reminder, everybody, if you're not already doing so, go ahead and give Escrunt a follow. You like Bequest Bingo, among other things. So it's not
Hi,
just...
pool. Again.
Yeah.
This is highly unusual to see the pool show up this often.
It just likes you.
Kitchen.
Also, the metal detector will make things appear. So if you're like, wait, there is a key there? No, that key will only appear if you have the metal detector. That's just how it works. The metal detector adds things. It doesn't find them. It adds them.
Yeah, so with the metal detector, will it add stuff to already existing rooms, or would it only do it to new rooms that you draft?
Yeah, it only happens to newly drafted rooms.
So if you're going to grab the metal detector on a day, you're going to want to hopefully find it sooner in the day than later.
Beautiful. That's so that's pantry. I just ate a banana in the kitchen. Here's the dining room meal on rank A. Progress.
Yay! It's been a while since we've had some.
Can I get the vault to show up again, please? I have the gems for it. There's a West Wing hall. I might just This door is locked. Then I am just going to.
Is that other pool door locked?
Yeah. Well. So the East Wing Hall is actually unusual rarity. Where is this thing that's beeping at me?
Is it the key over by the fireplace?
Yes.
Yeah. There are certain or at least common spots where the metal detector item will appear.
Yeah.
So in that case, because I didn't see the coin beside the coffee table, I knew it had to be the key by the fireplace, which is why I told him to go look there.
Hi, Locksmith.
'Cause I've been there. Hi, Locksmith. Oh, special key time. Let's go.
Give me a key card, please. Nope, that's pretty much what I expected to see here.
Well, you should at least be able to use it.
Yes. Except in the highly unusual scenario where this door is not locked.
That's going to be a coin almost certainly. By the radiator.
I always think it's next to the other radiator. This door is not locked.
Weird.
So that can't be garage because the garage can't draft in this direction.
Yeah.
Key. Well, I'm almost certainly going to hit 30 plus rooms here. There's the secret garden key.
Also, I believe when you dig, when you have a metal detector, it makes keys and coins a little more likely, but not quite the same as the detector shovel.
I'm not going to bother pulling the lever unless that's office?
Hi, office. How's it going?
Okay, now what I'm wondering is, can I get a conference room easily? Just to make... Because I can spread coins from here. And that makes it reasonably likely with the coin purse that I have that I can get 30 plus coins on this day. Room is not usually relevant in bingo. Don't remember where that gem is to grab it through the safe, so... I heard that beep. Do I think I'm going to get a conference room here quickly? I think the answer is no, so I'm going to do the spread here right now, so I can just collect points as I move back through the mansion. But I think what I want to do now is... Let's see, there's coins. I'm going to move my way back through the mansion. Actually, I'm going to hit dig spots as they come up, just because those can spawn coins too. Part of me is tempted to attempt to pull the lever, well, go and pull the lever anyway. Just because that's the west antechamber lever, and there's a not unreasonable chance that I would be able to get into the antechamber, which is one of the final objectives that can occur on the board. It just, there's no point in doing it this early, is the thing.
Yeah, because it wouldn't automatically clear it, right? You'd have to do it again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That does feel bad. I'm just imagining you do an objective and then you clear it. And it's like, oh, I just did that. Ah.
Yeah. Let's think of the high roller gets me my 30 coins. But how many roller letters do I have right now? 3. That would be office, boudoir, and drawing room. So study and drafting studio would be the 2 next nicely. Shelter would have 1. So do I have a pump room today? I've got the pool in play already. Alright, I mentioned this interaction earlier. I'm going to see if I can get away with it. I got 8 dice. I can do this easily.
Yeah, can you though? Hey.
Yes, I can do it without even needing to use those dice. Also, I'm running out of keys. I might need to go back to... I did just drop the utility class. I can go back to security.
The secret passage likes to taunt me when I have many dice.
Yeah, so...
And I'm trying to get the cloister for free.
Yeah, to explain what just happened there, the secret passage, when you're trying to draft green rooms, into an interior square where there's very few green rooms that can spawn, is guaranteed to give you a list of 3 rooms that have a gem cost. Now, what happens if you try doing that when you have no gems to do so? Just buy more keys here. I don't need to go all the way back to... then what it will do is it'll just say, pick one of the rooms and say, you don't need to pay the gem cost of this room so that you don't get soft blocked. And one of the rooms you can do that with is the cloister. And there's an objective that you can do to draft the cloister for free. Music room, probably? Yeah. Key card. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Well, now I need to go back to the
jokes.
I need to go back to the utility closet now because I turned the power off. Pump room. Interesting. Do I want to try... I want to go back to the utility closet so that I don't run out of steps trying to go back and forth here, but I'm low on gems. I'm going to hit 30 plus rooms here easily. I do want a gem in the event that I get the locker room offered, because I'd like to be able to draft all 3 of those rooms in a day if I can.
Yeah, I guess the thing to note about drafting is, yes, when you're offered the 3 rooms, you're going to get a guaranteed 1 room that has a no gem cost to it, because otherwise you could be soft locked, right? But the secret passage just works differently because it negates the cost of one of them. It is following that, but also that's just a feature of the secret passage.
I'm getting worried about steps here, so I'm just going to go back to the kitchen briefly. I'm also going to, since I'm in this part of the mansion again, I'm going to go back to security. I'm on the scale, that's funny. That door is... It's beeping me. Is that something in the hallway? That's something in the hallway.
Yeah, hallway.
Yeah, the metal detector can detect things between rooms, which throws me off occasionally.
And then sometimes you just can't find it anywhere.
Yeah. Was the commissary selling gems? I think it was. Just go back.
I can't say I recall, unfortunately.
Pretty sure it was. Really need to set that to unlocked, but yeah. Okay, maybe I'll get lucky and reveal I'll buy out commissary or buy out a shop as one of the squares next. Because it just
Would it count though?
I think I would just have to go back there and show that the shop has been bought out.
Okay.
It's one security door. I already have office in play. What could this be? Passage? No, I don't have passageway. This is passageway. No, it's drafting. Do I have a magnifying glass? No. Let me
I was betting it ended up being ballroom, but yeah, drafting studio is the other option. High vault.
I've already got my coins. I don't need you right now, Vault. 2 security doors.
How many red letters do you have?
I have 3 right now. Drafting studio would be 4. I just need steady to show up. I'll take storeroom here just so I've got the extra gem. Wow, this house is... I mean, I've already got more than 30 rooms in play. I would need to end the day to take off the objectives thing.
Is it like possible that you're just going to get walled by elite objectives? Like, dang, this one's really hard to deal. Let me go find an alternate.
That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's the 4th security door.
I think so. So in Fog Quest, it is technically possible for that to happen. That is why, this board was obviously hand built, as we can tell from, the what is, the host's favorite color. But in a normal context, that's okay. In a normal context, yes, you could. I've seen it happen to many players of Fog Quest. It's happened to me before. We're just sometimes the board is just mean, and then you hit something really mean, and you just go, "Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not finishing this."
Do I have any drafting? Because that's East Wing Hollow, so you take off that objective, but no sauna, unfortunately, because it got locked in the locker room. But that's fine. Let's just end the day here, because that's also... I already know what objectives on any set. At least I don't have to worry about dartboards at this point. 41 rooms. Wow.
Yeah, did we need to take a break at some point?
Yeah, how far along are we? Because we're just starting a day here. If we want to get up for a bit, this would be a good time to do so. I'll just pause the game and we can... Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. I'm your host, Kiara_TV for Game Masters, and we are now in the final leg of the Fog Quest Bingo. And before we start, I just want to comment on just how aesthetically pleasing the tracker is right now. We got like a little perfect staircase. I think for you to finish this, you're just going to have to continue to increment that up so we end with a full staircase, okay?
I'll say that would require me to change your opinion on your favorite color, I think. Is the problem.
Yeah. Well, but yeah. It's okay. I can go retroactively, change like, oh, it's actually blue that I like. I do have blue hair, but there's also purple in my hair, the purple highlights. So, yeah, I see what you're trying to do. Anyway, Escrow, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, all right. So I'll resume on 3, 2, 1, resume. So I think what I want to do at this point in time is fish for red letters. So I'm notably not going to go back outside immediately because I want to see if I can fish for the boudoir or some other means of getting dice specifically so that I can roll for shelter outside because there is a red letter in that safe. I need to do that relatively quickly. I want to get the safe open in some reasonable amount of time. So if it looks like it's going to be taking too long to get that, then I'll probably just go outside anyway and attempt to Pull that. The other likely red letter source would be the study, which is not likely at all, because the two remaining red letters that you can get are the one in the drafting studio, which needs the magnifying glass. Okay, office. Hello. And one in the underground earlier that you might remember from earlier, which I need the boiler room in order to get up there. And I would also need to be able to get back to that underground area, which is probably requires Tomb as the auto room in order to make that happen. Conservatory in play. Maybe I can pull conservatory here. Nope. Don't think I am going to get dice at this point, so I'll drop this room just to see if I get it, but other than that, I'm just going to go run back outside because I probably won't have the time otherwise. I get shelter, great. If I don't, submit. It's already past 9 o'clock in game, great.
Is it no, I've never actually stayed awake long enough. Is it possible where the day will just end after a certain amount of time?
The day doesn't end. It does get dark outside eventually, though.
Okay. Like, does the timer just keep going, or will it just, like, stop at midnight?
The clock keeps ticking. Okay, well, let me just put High Roller back into effect here. This gets me. Well, I mean, I would have needed the dice before I tried to draft the shelter there, but not an initial. I guess the other thing I can attempt to do. Well, now I can't easily do that now, but if I draft along the east wing to get greenhouse, that gets me a flower gem, which unlocks the square. But the main things I'm looking for right now are, shelter, drafting studio, study. So I can get more red letters. Pool again so that I can do another attempt at drafting those 3 rooms. And greenhouse. There is another way to get flower gems, but that requires an upgrade to be in play that isn't currently in play. Actually, maybe I can attempt to fish for a greenhouse here. Parlors have I solved at this point? That's a magnifying glass, so drafting studio becomes important again. This is correct, yes. It always throws me off a little bit. There's the boudoir. Astonishing number of resources for only drafting into rank 4 at this point. Wow. That to get the dice. Another security door. Don't have the cash to afford anything there yet that I want to get. I was about to say if I reroll a couple of times, but I'm not going to pass up the opportunity for a conference room. So this gets me some more cash. Anyway. No, you know what? Maybe I'm going to get to eat in dining room twice anyway. Just realized that I forgot to mark off the earlier time that I did that. Hi, Vault. I still don't want you here.
Vault is certainly having fun showing up.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. Have a shovel right now. That's my last key. There's a billiard room, funnily enough. Let's just see if I can get a key card into the deal. 9. 2 minus 1. 12.
You have to do math live on stream.
520.
Oh no,
job.
not math.
Hey, key card.
There's a key card. So it's probably locked. It's not. Beautiful. I actually wasn't expecting to get away with that, but
I love this tiny little save.
that's 4 red
Tiny
letters.
little letter.
There's locked, of course it is. Said to myself, I've got the dice, I might as well try re-rolling for it, and lo and behold, it worked out. So I should go back to... I did draft security today, right? I should go back there and crank up the security setting.
And everyone watching, if you're just joining us, you're watching Fog Quest Bingo here at Blueprints. The goal is to start from the bottom of the track you see there and complete objectives until you reach the green goal square at the top.
Mm-hmm. With the twist of Fog Quest specifically being that I can't see the objectives until I reveal a square next to them. Also, I can go back and buy a sledgehammer at this point in time to open some of these chests. And also, there's a security door in the commissary anyway, so I should be heading over there anyway. I can at least afford to buy out the commissary at this point anyway. But, the thing that I most want to show up now is study. Failing that, I can get shelter and get a red letter from there the following day. Alright, this is not where the commissary is. House can get confusing layouts, who would have thought? I am usually, but not always, good at remembering how I've drafted things. This just happens to be a very particularly confusing layout by my standards. Pool would get me more coins. I don't need more coins. I need keys. Just find things here. Oh, is there already a salt shaker in play? Maybe it's in the dining room and I just didn't notice it. Wait. High vault again, somehow. It's very persistent. This. I think this is genuinely a first for me for bingo purposes.
Oh my! Oh yeah, we gotta solve a puzzle.
Oh boy. There you go.
I was going to say I barely remember how this one works because I've not looked at it in so long, but currently I do remember on some level. Is this door locked? Am I going to... Yes, this door's locked. Go back to the aquarium then. That's not a key stay. Still might just be done. See. I would love for study to show up for 2 reasons at this point. One being that I think I've got all of the rest of the chess pieces in play, and also because it has a red letter in it. Oh, that's a key. How convenient. That's the pump manual sitting there. But we have no need to read that right now. Hi, ball. For me to get locker room, I need to not be drafting along the edges here. There's a gem in here. There's a key in here. Do I have any more doors here? I'm going to go back to the den. This might be the opportunity I've been looking for to get locker, sauna, pump room in a day. So I've got 2 of the 3 now. I just need to get the locker room into play now.
Do all 3 of those rooms have like special requirements to unlock? Because like the pump room, you have to have the pool first, right, or something?
Yeah, the pool adds. Oh, actually, there's chapel. I thought I could have drafted out of. The pool is what's responsible for adding them into the pool, the drafting pool to begin with. Not done yet. It's just, I need to draft like an East Wing Hall right here. Museum works.
Oh, those are choices.
This day might just be done. So I take the kitchen here and then I don't get the gem I need for... Is there a way I can get a gem with something I've got in play? I think the answer is no. The door's locked anyway. Well... Okay. Let's go at this again. I'm only 1 red letter away at this point, so that's
yeah.
good.
That will get us so close.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody knows what the S stands for, least of all me. So I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go attempt to pull shelter here immediately. That's gear wrench again. Maybe I can get the lab back into play. I find when I'm looking for study specifically, one of the most reliable ways that I can get it out of nowhere is the library. I do have Blessing of the High Roller back in play, so if I get enough dice by the time I get library into play, then I might just fish for more dice until it shows up. Of course, I can always attempt to get pool into play and get those 3 rooms again, but that's twice now that I've been 1 room away from getting that objective.
I can't remember how many of these little parlor room puzzles I did. Must have been... I probably got easily into the 50s or 60s.
Yeah,
by
the
time
answer
I was
is
done.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more than 100 of those puzzles. My main game file lasted long enough that it actually looped back to the starting puzzles again. Which is wild. What else is beeping at me in here? The coin.
Oh, so one random gameplay thing I wanted to talk about. So upgrade discs. So we've gotten some of those. We've upgraded some rooms.
Yep.
at least for beat quests and stuff, is there like a de facto? Yeah, this one's the clear favorite. You know, this is you. There's no reason to pick the others. You pick this like every time. Or is there like some more nuance to it where it's like, okay, you know, depending on your play style, depending on what the board looks like, we may go for one of the other upgrades instead.
There are some situational upgrades, but generally the upgrades that are most relevant for bingo purposes tend to be fairly consistent. You generally want things like there's boiler room, interestingly enough. Did I drop the other room already? Yes, I did. Things like breakfast nuts, so you can get the morning room into play, which is helpful both for gems and for the morning room itself has an upgrade disc in it, of course, as well. But there's, you know, generally things like dice for the boudoir and the guest bedroom. There's another dice. Just to make it easier to try and force rooms that you're looking for to exist.
Gotcha.
Probably should end this day with the furnace in effect, but okay, go just a little bit further. Okay, I'd love to get a library into play right about now. I've had at least one bingo board when I've run where I've had the 6 relatively accessible red letters all in play in like a small handful of days, which was highly unusual. Really important. That's shovel. We'll buy a key here. I want to buy the salt shaker as well. I think so. Just in case I run low on steps. What's beeping at me here?
Beep, beep, beep. It was me the whole time.
Key. Is this office or no? This is passageway. Yeah. It's the other side of that boiler room door from earlier. Great.
No, you know, I'm surprised we haven't seen the foundation yet.
Foundation shows up very, very rarely in bingo contexts. I've had the foundation be relevant a couple of different times in runs. There's an upgrade disc in the foundation area.
Yeah, do you know the specifics of either Cell or Grunt here? How, like, what causes that to happen? Is it just a very low chance, or is it like the more days you go, the higher the chance? Like it slowly becomes like guaranteed past a certain point, given how critical
it's both
complicated.
Yeah.
It's very, very complicated.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Because like I've gotten like I will get day 2 foundations when I'm doing bingo, and yet in my main casual save where I'm on like day 24 or something, I haven't seen foundation. It's very weird.
I like how just there's so many obscure mechanics going on underneath the hood that influences things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember getting that room you're just in, the music room. I remember just randomly finding a sanctum key in there. And then I was looking up after I beat it. I was like, how does this work? And like at the time, like there was no agreement on. I was like, well, you know, you got to do it late. So like when there's all the rooms are drafted, it's like, no, you got to do it like late time on the clock. It's like, no, you got to do it late as in high rank. And it's like, I'm not sure if it's been found out since then what causes that to spawn, but
the answer is all of them. All of the possible explanations are valid. The game accounts for any of the reasons that you just gave.
That's funny that it's like the answer is everything.
High workshop. Yoink.
Wait, what is this? You could... Oh, you can change the rarity.
I have a
of
gear
it.
wrench.
Okay. I've never seen that before. The gear wrench. I was like, okay,
so
now I gotta see
close.
what it is.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be able to get back out there anyway. Well,
No, not with the steps you have. Hi, veranda.
Hi, Miranda. This door's probably going to be locked, isn't it?
So we're trying to go for 5 red letters here. So what
Yeah.
do we have to do? What's remaining to
Yeah,
find
so
these red letters? What are
there's
we looking for?
2 remaining things left in play that would be likely to get a red letter. One is the study, and the other is the shelter, which I would have to wait for. So I'm really hoping that the study is what shows up. These doors are probably both locked, and I can't use the prison key out of a blue room.
Is there no key there? Because it was still beeping at you.
Not seeing the key in its usual... Oh, that key.
Yeah, that key. Yeah, the floor key, not the towel key. It's a key.
Of some sort. Six, 9... 2... 6, 18... 17... No. Let's just be frazzled or not reading this. 6, 2...
I forget my notes for what the yellow squares where it's like subtract. One of them's subtract, one of them's add, one's
Yeah.
multiply. Then I think
That's
red's
11.
pink's multiply. Okay.
4, so that's 8. That is 14.
Hey, math. Enjoy your keys. Yes, woo math. Yeah, type 1 for math.
There's a locker room without a gem. Great. It's drafting studio, which I've already got. That's the library facing the wrong direction.
Aww. Hey, the observatory. Oh, we don't have any gems.
Actually, by pulling up the map there, I could not adjust the rarity of the room. Anyway, this day's over.
GG's. To a new day. Let's see, what day are we at here for?
Day 11. This is
Day 11.
unusually long by bingo standards.
It's okay. Would it be hotfix if you didn't get destroyed by RNG?
Yeah, that's Fog Quest for you.
It's okay, Escrat. You're doing fantastic. I believe.
Those are some fancy numbers in chat.
Yes.
I see. Chat is doing math. Very good, very good.
And I have the Geist bedroom upgrade in play yet. Oof.
Yeah, I love me some math identities. No one did my fate. You could just raise anything to the power
workshop
of
is
0.
coming now, that's funny. You don't want to draft too many more rooms here. Back to the entrance. I just want to make sure that I don't miss the 9 o'clock deadline for the relatively fast open of the shelter safe, if I happen to be able to draft that. One more room and then I go back outside. Time passes relatively quickly in this game, except when you're waiting for the shelters. I do have 1 dice, so You can get the shelter relatively easily here. Eleven. I can't believe that this has been relevant in both runs I've done today. Well, at least I know that we've got red letters at the ready.
Yeah, that's good. We're close.
A little bit of certainty.
There's still so many other objectives on the board. I'm very curious where it can go. More keys, more gems.
More resources in general is good. Ruler Salon effect, I'll take that for the dice.
Oh, the drawing room.
Really want to use a key here just yet. Okay, now I can use a key.
Yeah, now you can buy a whole bunch. This is perfect. Until you run into the security door in the next room, right?
Chapel can't have security doors. This is... Oh, right. Shelter's in play. Hi, Mechanarium.
Oh, okay. The Mechanarium. We haven't seen this room yet, right?
We have not.
Yeah.
Mechanarium is a very strange property of... so I've got, security. I've got the... What's the other mechanical room I've got? The workshop. And the Mechanarium itself counts as a mechanical room. So there's 3 doors in total in this room. The more mechanical rooms you drop before you drop the Mechanarium, the more doors appear here.
And it's only when you drop the room, right? So if you wanted all the doors, you have to have all of the gear rooms first.
Yes. I think that is the first time that I ever dropped a Mechanarium on a bingo board, so...
Hey, all right, there's a first time for everything.
Keep an eye on the clock so I can back and play that red letter as necessary.
Yeah, I'm surprised how deep you've made it so quickly on this one. We're just...
on this game.
Yeah. We just went all the way to the end, right down like it was nothing.
Let's get to that. So one or the other of these doors is probably locked. They need to go back to the entrance. The morning room is still open. Okay. Try this door first, just before we go any further. Hi, showroom.
Yes, chat. He said the thing. He said the thing.
Library. Study. Let's go. I don't need to go back out to the shelter now.
And we got another safe.
Well, actually, I'm going to have 6 red letters in total. That's hilarious.
All right, just
More
chain the
plans
5 red and the
point.
6. But there it is. Finally, we get to check another box.
Oh, did I just put the pool into play? No, I had the option to do so, and I did not take it.
Okay,
pool's
that
been-
pool's literally been showing up all the time, so, surely.
Yeah, locked. grade 4 probably isn't happening unless I get lucky with another schoolhouse draft, but actually I can just buy keys. What am I doing? I can buy a key. Okay, that's convenient. And this is why I set up the pump room that long ago.
Yeah, and just like that, we had a big dry spell, and boom, 2 objectives immediately.
Okay, now I kind of wish I'd taken the office.
Room.
We do have the conference room in play. I can actually buy another key now.
So how does spreading stuff to the conference room work?
There is actually the most likely thing for me to get that would let me do that right now is the locker room, actually. But there's certain rooms, the locker room, the secret garden, the office, that can trigger effects that spread items to rooms.
Patio as well.
Patio is one of them.
The tomb as well also interacts with it. There's experiments. Basically, as long as it's something that can spread, it works. It will put those items in the conference room instead of wherever it would normally spread it to.
This is actually the third dartboard that I've sold, funnily enough. 14, 1, 2, 16, 10, 220. Silver key, that's fascinating. Yeah, so that's the pattern for dartboard. Office, let's go.
Office, let's go.
Let's go.
And okay, there we go.
Okay, now I need to actually go back and collect this. That's a key card. That's fascinating. Have I ever seen that key card spawn there before?
I don't know if I have. That's unusual.
Okay, I'm just going to collect all of the coins here before I mark that off.
Oh, you're 1 allowance off.
I'm 1 allowance off.
Where can you get another allowance?
Fastest way would be a lab experiment. Don't know if I can think of another reliable way to get 1 allowance token. Already done.
Well, it's... Wait, closed exhibit!
Where is it?
There's a Morajai box in here.
Where is it?
Other side.
Yeah.
Other side.
There it
Please
is.
don't panic.
Hold.
We're done.
GG.
That's time. Let's go.
Woo!
Oh.
We were on that, thank you for keeping us on that staircase for so long. Because it was nice to look at all that time. And then just like as soon as we got those red letters, just like boom, 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 boom. Like that was all the same day, right? We got those final 4 objectives just here, right there. So we had a good subsets of rooms. But Asgard, thank you so much for bringing
Yeah, thanks for having me here. PodQuest does PodQuest things. As I talk here, I'm going to see if I can real quickly run back outside and not get lost in the way so I can claim that 6th red letter just to say that I've done so in a bingo run. Thank you to... Yeah, thanks, Gelly, for crafting this board. I'll be very interested to see what the rest of the board beneath this fog looks like, if there's any more surprises out of the way here. And to, I believe it was Lord Pido and Leonix who helped vet this board to get to the state that we're in now. And thanks to Amaranth for crafting the regular beat quest board that I did. Thanks, Kiara, for having me on the show. Thanks, Sel, for being here to accompany me on this wonderful journey of especially a pod quest. But
great job on the
podcast things. I should be here just in time and with just enough steps to be able to pull this safe open and get the last red letter. I'm here too.
There we go.
It's not. No. Oh.
All right, well.
I don't think they. Yeah.
We'll start with you. I want to give you a chance to shout yourself out. What do you got coming up? What do you got going on? What are you excited about?
Yeah, so most of the time on my own stream, you can find me streaming the weekly Blueprints Bequest community boards that's run out of the main Bequest server. There's also, I don't do this myself, but there's another group that runs HardQuest on a weekly basis now. They used to do just a regular board. But if my descriptions of HardQuest throughout this seem like they might be of more interest to you, if you're more familiar with plumbing the depths of the game, that's an option available to you as well. Other things I do mostly recently has been Slay the Spire 2 and occasionally a game by the name of Shadows of Doubt. I don't do that as much anymore, but
Okay.
I'm streaming on Twitch occasionally. The most consistent thing you'll find me doing is running Bequest.
Yeah, I've seen you. I've been lurking a couple times leading up to the show, seeing you trounce through all of this stuff. But yeah, go ahead and go give S-Grunt a follow if you haven't already done so. But we can't forget about Selkuth here. Yeah. Sel, what about yourself?
Can we see the rest of the board?
Yeah, while you're revealing it, I will do my shoutouts. Yeah, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SelkuthMind. My streaming schedule is up in the air because I just started a brand new job yesterday, so that has thrown my stream schedule all of the way. Thank you. If you want to see me run Blueprints Bequest Bingo, I'm going to be doing that at NSG Spring on Saturday at 3:40-ish p.m.
That's
Eastern.
This Saturday.
I need to get some people to vet me aboard. So many things have been happening. But other places you can find me, Preventathon, that's a marathon I run. That's coming up at the end of the month. If you want to see me do Cook, Serve Delicious or Spin Rhythm XD or host or any of the other wonderful games we have in the schedule, would love to have you over watching Preventathon. But yeah, otherwise, I also do a fair bit of Blueprints Bequest Bingo. When my stream schedule is back to normal, we'll probably be back to doing a fair bit of that. But yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yep, best of luck on Saturday. Once again, thank you both for coming on. And, S-Grunt, after all of that, I was getting worried. I was getting a little bit worried, but surprisingly, we were just a hair of our initial estimate. So that locked in pretty well. I remember we were talking about it beforehand.
This is unusually long for me to complete a PodQuest board, but sometimes PodQuest just does PodQuest things sometimes.
Yep, it is. Well, I hope you had fun. Thanks again for showcasing this here on Game Masters. And, everybody, that is going to be it for our live content for tonight. But, of course, Hotfix, we got so much stuff all the time, so many wonderful shows. And if you missed out on Random Number Generation or Game Masters, stay tuned after the break because we're going to be replaying both shows after this. And tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for Out of the Box double features. So